All right, how's it going, everybody? Chris here again with session 2 of Curse of Strahd. We got our four adventurers still trapped in this horrible house. We're gonna get, I believe, Alton to do a little recap for us on where we left off at the last session, and then we're potentially expecting a fifth, but we don't really know, so we'll bear with us with that, and we'll see what happens throughout the session. Good luck to you guys, and I'll turn it over to Alton.
Yeah, in the previous session, many terrible things happened, but I most certainly remember us being out in the middle of the woods, and we were attacked by what seemed like a countless horde of monsters, and the townsfolk that were with us, they all died, and upon defeating many of these creatures, we came upon the powerful lycanthrope. And when we attempted to kill him, he was quite immune to our attacks. And as he fled, I attempted to stop him, but he was too powerful. And as we gave chase, we eventually lost him, but we came upon a very strange-looking building. And when we investigated, we heard of a child complaining about his lost sibling in the house. And upon thorough examination of the house, we found that this kid was a liar, and the house tried to kill us many times. Be it a suit of armor, a broom, a ghost, especially a suit of armor, our inability to roll above a 5, his ability to always roll above a 15. Many things happened, but through the mercy of the Lord in the sky himself, and the lucky rolls of Alton and his dearest barbarian companion, we were able to vanquish the evil suit of armor and save the world until today, where we will die.
Perfect. You can take inspiration for that, and yeah, you guys left off having Dragar just getting his barbarian shit punched in, and he's out basically 1 health stabilized, being downed in 1 hit by this terrifying ghost maiden that freaked out once you guys headed towards the nursery. Upon inspecting the nursery, there was obviously nothing there, which is probably even more eerie besides a swaddled empty blanket. But nonetheless, the fight is over. The room has fallen back to a silence. Dragar stabilized. I imagine everyone, a cold sweat of nervousness and exhaustion kind of weighs over you. Probably nothing more else that you guys want to do besides take a long rest, I guess.
Dragar could use rest, yes.
So yeah, as long as you guys are all good with resting, nobody wants to do anything else crazy, we'll just long rest you up, and you guys
Have
can
we
all...
searched the room? Like, have we at least looked around the room? Do we know if there's anything to our benefit in there? Or are we going to do that when we wake up? Or what's the deal?
Did you guys check the room after? I can't remember. After the combat, which room did you go all crazy and smash everything in? Was it this room?
I believe we're in the nursery right now.
Right. Yeah, the nursery itself, besides the emptied swaddled blanket and the kind of black painted crib with the weird bat mobile over it, there's a fogged window with kind of iron grates to the south area, but it's, upon inspecting it, much like the other windows, for some reason impenetrable, and you can't even really see out. It just looks like the mist has swallowed the house entirely. Other than that, you obviously found this kind of secret door that I believe Alton or Val kind of stumbled into, heading upstairs to presumably an attic. But other than that, these 2 rooms don't really seem to have anything too important in them. The big bed in the main room where the ghost attacked, a couple like closets and dressers, but none of them have anything besides like maid clothing and kind of common clothes of a female. Probably nothing too interesting for you guys.
No, I'm tired.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, go ahead and we'll take your long rest. You obviously are we anyone watching taking watch? Or are you all gonna take a sleep? How are we gonna do this?
I think Val would discuss with either Alton or Reader that he would take second watch after 4 hours.
Yeah, Dragar looks pretty rough. He doesn't look like he's probably going to be taking any watches right now.
I'm pretty rough as well, but I only have to sleep half as long as everyone else. So,
Same with Val.
superior blood, all of that business. But it's okay.
I'm already sleeping.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
wound
Alton.
stitched up,
Alton will take
snowing
first
away.
watch, and the other one, the boy, he'll take second watch.
All right. So as you are both on your watch, it's pretty uneventful. You obviously hear the creaking and cracking of the house. At times, almost like eerily, seeming like it's letting out these groans of life, but then giving this like weird sensation that the house is actually like shrieking or something. And then you just discern it as maybe the wind or something. It creeps you out nonetheless, but both your watches are uneventful, luckily for you guys. And how it's really hard to track time in this house. You don't even know how many hours go by, if it's days. You're just starting to lose track of all time in this house. The windows give off this dim, misty kind of shroud that is impossible to discern what time of day it is even. But nonetheless, you feel like you have enough of a long rest to bring yourselves back up to a full heal, but rested may not be the word that we're looking for to describe how you guys feel after this, despite the HP and all your stuff back. And then
Yes.
up to you guys where you want to head next. For the most part, I believe you searched most of the house. I know you left a couple areas on the first floor unattended, and then obviously the secret passageway leading up into what you would assume an attic is there, all for the exploring.
Shall we finish going up before we go back down?
Dragar kicked down door for Ghost. Dragar let someone else take the lead on this.
Oh, Dragar, I'll do it for you. I don't want you to get hurt anymore. It hurt my soul when you got knocked out.
So Val attempts to hide himself in his cloak and quite obviously fails. And he says, anyone else wanna go up those stairs?
Oh, I go first.
Yeah, you take a step on the stair, Val, as you try to sneak up, and as soon as your foot hits the stair, it lets out this loud creaking that basically echoes all the way up the dark hallway. Obviously, with dark vision, you can see up there, but nonetheless, you determine that pretty much approaching stealthily at this point, if there is anything up there, is not going to be of much use. And I'm guessing Reader also tried the exact same thing and creaked equally as terrible. This time even almost double the noise as he goes up both stairs.
Can I perhaps use their distraction to attempt to sneak up as well?
Absolutely.
I am quite sneaky, unlike my companions.
Maybe you can roll high.
I will definitely beat the 9. Oh, but then I trip on the stairs. Oh, I'm so clumsy.
Yeah, you fall flat on the stairs and actually give a little crack into the wood of the stair. The house actually almost seems like the stairway trembles, as it is now very apparent that if there's any living thing in this house, it pretty much knows that you're coming.
I must admit though, it seems as if this house has magical stairs that you cannot climb up stealthily.
just looking in disbelief at my 3 companions, I would just shake my head slowly, walk up to the stairs and say, I gotta get this one, boys, just follow. And I would walk to the top of the stairs and I would check the doorknob.
All right, and as you get to the top of the stairs, it's kind of like a little L shape, so it goes up about 5 feet and then branches off to the left where another set of stairs go up equally another 5 feet. As you get to the top, you're met by this door that has a big padlock on it. And the door looks like it's made of this kind of sturdy wood that wouldn't easily be taken down. The lock, although it looks old, still looks pretty formidable as you give it a shake.
I think I would look to Val and say, Val, Dragar needs help.
And Val would reach into his pouch and pull out his thieves' tools and say, I don't know, these locks don't seem to like me. I unlocked the door downstairs, not that it opened. And he would move to open the lock and break one of his picks.
Yeah, that one snaps. With the expertise of Reader, though, one of you can try again at advantage. Having 2 rogues look at this apparent masterful lock, hopefully between the two of you, one can crack it open at advantage. Whoever wants to take that roll, go ahead. You definitely
Reader.
lost one of your picks, though.
I know that you too are skilled at this, but I think I might be a little better than you.
Oh, I don't think any of us are very good at anything, from what I've seen.
Quiet sorcerer.
And Reedier, do you have anything to say to that, or?
Well, I believe in both of you, so you can both do it. I don't care.
I don't know if you're talking, Pat, but we don't hear anything.
Oh, you just mute. There he is.
Still no sound. Maybe try signing back out and then coming back in, and hopefully we get a voice from you by then. But nonetheless,
Because Gabriel's character will be doing it, yes.
I'm gonna assume that you gave the helping hand for Val because he crit succeeded on that lockpick and masterfully unlocks it. The click of the lock goes and the padlock falls, or not falls, but gives way. The door now able to push open if anyone wishes to do so.
Val would smile and say, "See, sometimes it only takes 2 picks instead of the 1." And he would scowl at the broken pick.
But sometimes it
Using
only
it.
takes one, you know, like this.
I think at this point, Dragar would look back to Val and he would say, "You or me?"
Val would smile and say, "Give me a sec. Let's see if I can hide for once." And before opening this door, once again tries to blend in with the shadows.
Are you able to hear me now?
That was
Yes, we
not
can hear you now, Pat. Welcome back. I'm not sure what happened there, but I just assumed that you helped out Val, and you guys are able to. He was able to crit succeed unlocking the door. He at that point decided he was going to try to stealth in the room despite the noise that he made, but for lack of better description, he for some reason almost seems like he vanishes in front of you for whatnot as he pushes open the door. He's met by this kind of weirdly shaped room. It has a hallway to the left of it, but it is incredibly bare. The only thing that is in the room is an immense amount of dust. As you kind of push open the door, it floats away from the door, puffing up this big cloud. In the rafters, there's all these like spider webs. As it seems like this area hasn't been really voyaged in or explored in a very long time. You see 4 doorways in total, 1 behind you to the south, and then 2 down the hallway, and basically 1 right in front to the north. And it's about a 10-foot by 20-foot room, essentially. Just bare, nothing in it besides dust and cobwebs, and these 4 doors.
Not trusting bare rooms anymore because of this house and ghosts and broomsticks, Val would motion for Alton and Reader to sneak into the room before Dragar, and he says quietly, just because a room's empty right now doesn't mean it'll stay that way.
Yes, Dragar, wait here.
Yes, I will sneak in very well. And with that, I will roll. I will be watching out for very dangerous-looking desks, of course. As I do a 5, as I do my impersonation of a heavily armed dwarf.
Yeah, so you make another like loud creaking as you step into the room. It doesn't so much as echo, but it becomes like, I imagine kind of Val gives you this like look of disappointment as you like take a step and it creaks in the room. Reedier not too much quieter, but he just kind of takes his step as you're creaking, so it kind of mimics or quiets his over the creak of your step.
I'm still managing to find the loose floorboards.
Yeah, you guys are in the center of this room though, and the only noise being heard is the kind of creaking of the failed stealth checks that you guys made. Dragar left at the front of the door just looking at you guys. Nothing else happens besides the disturbance of dust. It kind of like maybe chokes you guys. You get about a cough as you take a couple steps and it blows up in your face essentially.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, do not worry, we'll be okay. Do not
So
worry.
yeah, it's pretty apparent that you guys aren't really succeeding at stealthing. You question whether it's even worth it at this point. You've made enough noise to know that if anyone's paying attention, they know you're here.
So the room is
But
still
the
empty.
house, yeah, the room is still empty. The only thing that's in the room with you is the dust, doors, and spider webs.
So Val, looking at his companions who failed their stealth, would just kind of sigh and say, "This doesn't seem to be a good day for anyone."
Oh yeah,
And
alright, so dearest dwarf, just run in and I'll cover you, okay?
Yeah, don't worry. I
Drager.
got it. Dragar's got this. What door would you like me to open?
And as Drager looks around, he's met by 2 doors to the hallway to the west, 1 door to the north, pretty much really close to you guys, and then 1 doorway kind of behind the stairs that you came up to the south.
I'll just pick any door, I do not care.
Okay. And I'll go to the door behind the stairs that we just climbed up because I'm closer to that one. And I'll go over and I'll just I'll lean down to the door and drag it and I'll lean up. I'll try the door handle before
And
I
as
swing.
you creak the door handle, it kind of jaggedly turns, but nonetheless is able to turn, and you hear the clicking of the mechanism as the door is easily able to push open if you choose to. It's not locked or anything.
Yeah, so holding the doorknob all the way turned and the door is easily moved but still closed. I look at the other guy or the rest of my companions and I'd say, Dragars, this says door is open, ready to go, and I would swing the door open.
I'm more than ready. You were the
And
first person here to unlock something on your first try.
As you swing the door open, a dust cloud of or a cloud of dust kind of sways from the room. The room seems to be containing a slender bed with a nightstand, a small iron stove, a writing desk with a stool, and an empty wardrobe. It has a rocking chair in the center of it, a smiling door in a smiling doll in a lacy yellow dress sits on the northern windowsill, kind of on top of this box. This almost like cobweb draping, like wedding veil over top of its head. You just see the smile of this doll in its dress sitting on the dresser.
I don't trust it.
Oh, I know what to do. And Alton, he'll step into the room very carefully and approach the doll.
All right, and you approach the doll, and it still gives you that same kind of lifeless smile, almost
And,
egging you on to touch it.
And he does. He pauses for a moment, he places his hand out, but from 10 feet away he nods and he says, "Oh, you're so uncouth, please get clean." And he'll cast prestidigitation to clean the dirty little doll.
Yeah, and as you cast that, like a little puff of dust comes off it, and its kind of dirty yellow dress kind of gives this more sharper of a yellow to it. The veil, all the cobwebs blow off, and it actually looks like it's not in that bad a shape.
So Val, thinking that it's the doll doing this and not Alton, would step forward and take a swing at the doll, as he has been put on edge by everything in this house attacking them.
So yeah, I'm assuming that Alton is kind of quick enough to dodge it. I'm not going to make you do any attack rolls. I'm assuming you're not trying to hurt Alton. So
No, I'm
you
cutting.
you
the
swing,
doll.
and he kind of like at the last second steps out of the way. And I imagine I'll let Alton describe how he feels about that.
I
wasn't
turn
attacking
around.
Alton.
I turn
I was
around
attacking-
and I see the boy as he attempts to play with the doll. I do not understand, but if he wishes to play with the doll, he can touch it. I don't care.
And then, yeah, spending a little time in this room, it doesn't really seem like there's anything else. The room gives off the sense that maybe it was a spare room for guests, but obviously has not been disturbed in a very long time. As kind of running your finger along the...
Dungeon Master, I believe you misunderstood him. My companion wished to attack the doll, for he is a foolish young child.
So when he takes a swing for the doll, what exactly happens?
He easily just cuts its head off. It's just a doll.
Do you treat all your toys like this?
No, only in this house, which nothing in this house can be considered a toy anymore. I've been attacked by a freaking suit of armor. Now, I'm not a fan of magic, sorcerer, but armor shouldn't be moving.
Dragar thinks maybe killing Doll might have been overreaction.
I agree with you there, Trigger. However, if it had attacked us first, I think my actions would have been reasonable.
Agreed.
Yes, he would have choked you to death when you gasped in horror and he shoved himself down your throat. I could
Okay,
see
so
that.
what's everyone say? Another room?
So yeah, the
Yeah.
mighty doll has been slain. The most successful encounter you guys had so far.
Thanks. That's good.
Imagine all of the coppers we could have had for the doll. And now you have destroyed it.
And the room, other than being dusty, is pretty much empty. Nothing of value or even anything really left in the room, besides maybe a couple pairs of old pajamas and stuff like that. Spare pieces, spare blankets and such. All reek of like mildew and kind of mold as it's been sitting for much too long. But this room, you don't see anything worth your time in.
I think we would head back into the main room.
So you have your two doorways down the hallway to the left, and then one door immediately across this kind of empty area that is the entrance of the attic.
I think Dragar would look at Reader and be like, "Your choice now."
And while they were, because when he saw the doll, he had the same reaction where he was about to step in the room and just immediately didn't, and let them negotiate that. And while that was happening, because of the mustiness and the strange heavy smells and thick air in here, he would have taken a cloth and just wrapped it around his face to try to minimize every time another plume of dust blasted him in the face. And as they were coming out, and then hearing Dragar say that, he goes to the north, the close door, and tries the knob.
Perfect, and that easily pushes open too if you wish to do so. And as you're kind of leaving the room, Val gives like a look over his shoulder, and for a split second, he almost thinks that he sees this head of the doll, no longer smiling, but giving him a frown, as he kind of shakes his eyes to and maybe take a second glance. It's back to smiling, but he's quite sure for a moment there it was giving him some kind of almost not intimidating but threatening frown.
Val is not gonna hesitate. He pulls out his crossbow and shoots the freaking doll, as he has had it with moving and random things.
I would hate to be one of your toys. You could take great joy in this.
And he misses the doll. The arrow kind of sinks into the floorboard, giving this loud ringing noise a good like 2 inches away from this doll's head. Everyone turns around to see him doing this, and the doll's just head is sitting there smiling like it was before.
Just scoff.
It frowned at me. It was smiling, then it frowned at me.
If you cut my head off, I would frown at you too.
Dragar believe you. Dragar saw crazy things in those bathtub. Dragar believe you. Doll frown, I understand.
And as Reedier pushes open this door, he's met with a room that contains bricked up windows flanked by 2 dusty wooden framed beds, sized for what looks like small children. Close to the door, basically immediately to your right, is a toy chest with windmills painted on the side of it, and a dollhouse that, taking a closer look, pretty much seems like an exact replica of the house that you're currently in. These furnishings are draped with cobwebs. The dollhouse doesn't look like it's been touched for a very long time. Lying in the middle of the floor are 2 small skeletons, wearing tattered but familiar clothing. The smaller one cradles a stuffed doll that also you immediately recognize, Reedier, as the doll that was being held by the little boy that was crying outside the room.
Outside the house?
Yeah, outside the house, sorry.
You know, I've noticed that they like windmills a lot, you know? They have the painting, and they have they have all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, and there are also dead skeleton bodies on the ground, but don't worry about those. I see them all the time.
Yes, but can I point out, those look like children.
Perhaps they are halflings. Maybe they are just tiny folk.
And that doll, I think we've seen that somewhere.
And if you go give it a closer look, feel free to do so. Just give a... Actually, you wouldn't even need to. Possibly, you definitely would be able to recognize it as the exact same doll that was being held by the kid outside, only it looks much rougher. The stuffing kind of like ripped out of it, one of the eyes off of it. It looks like it's very beaten up. As you kind of inspect it closer, the door suddenly slams behind you. As everyone turns to look, you see these two figures, each sitting on a bed, very familiar looking. Obviously, the little girl and the little boy, each sitting on their own bed, but this time much, much paler, almost translucent, or like you can see through them, as it seems like they appear in this ghostly kind of form. The girl steps up and says, "Have you come to play with us? We're so lonely."
No, I think we've had it with you lying children.
"I'm sorry we lied. We were just so lonely. We've been up here for so long. We just wanted some friends. Please don't be mad."
Friends I
would
can
lie
understand.
to like friends. I don't believe that. You are bad
Is that all?
friends.
What is that? I didn't
Friends
catch
do
it.
not lie to friends. You are bad friends.
Yes,
If you
but
wanted
but
friends,
but our parents they locked us up here to protect us from the monster.
And
But it's been so very long.
did they tell you to be liars? I don't understand.
We got so very hungry.
I think at this point I would Dragar would step probably back or are we all in the room?
Yep, everyone's in the room as it shuts behind you.
Nice. Because the Dragar would probably step back, and I think Reader would probably be at the back of the group at this point, because Val went in to look at the doll and everything, and I'd probably look at him and be like, the Dragar don't understand. What's going on?
And as you back up, the little boy kind of disappears from the bed and appears in front of you, and he's like, please don't be scared of us, mister. We just want someone to play with."
Even though he says, like, when he does the blinking forward, even
Mhm.
as he's saying, "Please don't be scared," Rita like turns to run out of the room, but bounces off the door, like kind of stumbling down onto the ground.
And as you kind of like go towards the door, they almost give like this panic kind of cry, like, "Please don't leave us. Please, no. We've been stuck in here for so long."
then why don't we set you free? And Val would just be holding his sword at the girl's neck, and he would say, if you wanted friends, you should have played with us outside.
At the blinking, Dragar would have drawn one of his hammers, probably one of his throwing hammers, and just held it in his arm and just kind of just been in shock at the boy blinking.
Yeah.
And then watching Reader bounce off the door and Val getting ready, he would just still be kind of stumbling backwards as the boy was trying to say, "Don't be afraid."
Yeah, and as these guys are doing it, it's obviously very like frightening that these ghosts are communicating with you, but they're in no way being hostile. You can give an insight check to see if they're like trying to trick you or what's going on. If anyone wants to do an insight,
Inside of 12, that get anything?
we'll see what everybody else rolls first before we.
I will give you my roll. It is a fantastic roll. I will roll at least a 3. Hopefully.
Has anyone rolled over 10 tonight?
Yeah,
I rolled a 1, a 2,
Why are you being like
two
that?
crits.
I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 7. So
Seven?
I'm moving up in the world.
I
That's a
have
grand
two
total
crits
of 8.
Failure.
And is Video giving an insight, or is he just kind of?
Although he's like really comfortable researching and going through strange materials, he's not good at intuiting people, and especially with everything that's going on and his like really heightened stress level. He immediately just doesn't believe anything they say. Like he's trying to just keep his teeth from involuntarily chattering, especially when he recognizes like those are the bodies of the children we saw.
Yes, children, what kind of games would you like to play?
They would say, the girl? She would say her name is Rosavelda, first of all, and she would say, you'll play with us? That's so great. Come
Well,
with me."
I am putting the offer out. I wish to know the game. I do not like some games.
And
At this point, Dragar would just shout out from his stumbling rage. He'd be like, "Where's your little brother?" Or sorry, Dragar asks where your brother is.
The baby brother.
The baby brother, and they kind of, the one flashes forward right in front of you, Alton, and she almost kind of grabs your hand, this icy cold, and she starts trying to like motion you towards the dollhouse to come play with the dollhouse with her. The mention of their brother, though, their kind of mood shifts to like a sadness, and they say, "Our brother, he was born just a baby, but so very still. Our mom and dad did not let us see him. He just kind of laid there. He didn't move or anything, and that was the only time we've seen him. Mom was so very mad. Something about the maiden, the housemaid,
And the
and
whole
father.
thing and everything would click.
Yeah. and they're really sad with that. But after kind of talking about it for a second and being kind of innocent children almost, Rosavelda kind of motions you to come play at the dollhouse if you would, Alton.
Hmm. I pause for a brief moment and I would say, what kind of games do you like to play in the dollhouse?
And then she would just say that she likes to play, I don't even know the word for it, but just basically like what girls would play in a dollhouse, like pretend. She'd be like, "This one can be you," and she hands you like this little doll from the toy box, and she pulls out another little girl one, looks very similar to the yellow laced one that was in the other room, and she says, "I'll be this one. Come live in the house with me." And she kind of like starts putting her doll in the house and motioning it through all the rooms and stuff. Looking kind of closer at it, you can tell that this is literally an exact replica of the house that you're currently in. All the rooms fit to a T, even the library with the secret kind of entrance. You can give a perception check to kind of see if you can discern any kind of other information about the house while you're playing with her, if you like.
Oh yes, I have an 18 as I study do I see us inside of it?
You do not see yourselves inside the room. It's just
Okay.
empty besides these dolls that you're
My
playing with.
mind would break if I saw myself in the dollhouse.
And as you're looking, like I said, you see the secret door in the library that you've already discovered. The couple of rooms in the fourth floor that you didn't even venture in. One looks like this kind of hunting slash common room. The other, a big dining table and a kitchen pantry. As you kind of look at the current floor that you're on, you notice that in the attic, there's this little pushway door that gives away in the corner, and a spiral staircase kind of swings down, and it goes all the way through the dollhouse, and presumably to where a basement would be, but obviously this dollhouse does not have the basement. And it would kind of like click to you that that's probably where the stairway is to get to the basement, and it's just in the room to the left door in the hallway behind you guys.
Val would, while Alton is distracting the little girl's ghost, nudge her skeleton with the toe of his boot to see if anything happened.
And she's so distracted by Alton and the boy stuck kind of in front of Dragar and Reedier trying to not to scare him, and he's holding the doll up to Reeder at the time, and he's just basically doing everything in his power to like contain himself. And he's like, "Here you go, mister. This is what I hold tight when I'm scared." And he goes to hand you this like ragged, like ripped to almost shreds doll, and you do with that what you want. But as you kind of motion your doll over to the secret door, Alton, she says, "No one goes near that door, my friend. That door leads to very bad spots. That's where the monster is. That's what Mom and Dad were protecting us from. They locked us in here so that it wouldn't get us."
How about we play a new game?
What
How
game
about-
do you have in mind?
The game is kill the big bad monster. Okay? So what we do is you open the door, you let us out, and we'll go and we'll kill the big bad monster and rescue your parents or
And
what's
here-
left of them.
Hearing that, Dragar would finally kind of snap into it, realize, the boy, you'd see the hammer in his hand, he'd look at Alton, he'd be like, "Dragar says anything to get out of this room."
And they say, "Please don't leave. We just started playing. We don't want to lose you. You guys are such good friends."
I don't know why you're calling us friends, more like captives.
Oh, do not mind him. He is just a grumpy little boy.
Don't mind the sorcerer, he's only an uptight... I don't know.
It's funny that he calls me the uptight one, and he's the one who does not want to play with the children.
And they
I
laugh
do
and
not
they're like, "You guys are funny."
His own race.
I think at this point, Dragar would be looking at the skeletons and looking at the boys, and he kind of put his light hammer or his throwing hammer back into his belt, and he'd take his warhammer and he'd look at Reeder and Val and Alton, and in the back of his head he'd be wondering if he smashed the skeletons, if the baby boy and the baby girl would finally be at peace, and he was trying to wonder how to put them at peace. And I think he would
You could
look
do
at Val and Reader, and he'd be like,
You'd
"How?"
see Val kind of nudging the skeletons, looking like he's thinking the exact same thing.
I'd
You
be,
guys
I'd be
can give
holding up the
a
hammer.
you guys can give a check for sure to try to discern that. Unless you guys just want to act and kind of guess.
No,
But,
I'd be holding up the hammer and I'd be looking at everybody, and I'd try to, be body languaging what I'm thinking about doing and trying to get a reaction from all three of them.
Val
Yes.
would hold up his hands and act like he's been trying to do this for a while. So,
and I'm trying to think of what check would be most reasonable. Arcana,
Religion, perhaps?
yeah, religion is what I was thinking originally. If you can justify another check, like that's how I basically play skill checks. If I say one thing and you can think of something that makes sense to me, I'll let you roll that. So, but I'm thinking of religion initially.
My religion's horrible, so I'm still waiting for everybody
If,
to ask.
if you allow Arcana, but maybe at a higher difficulty, once seeing that and then seeing them, and
I was
although
thinking
his own
maybe
threat with the ghost failed, he would just think about anything he had read. Like now the analytical part of Reader's mind is starting to click on. He's able to distance himself from the things that are scaring him and just trying to remember anything he's read or any necromantic tomes, anything back at the library he used to work at.
See, I thought along the lines of possibly insight, because Val has been trying to nudge these skeletons around to see if they do anything to the ghosts.
Yeah, you can do an insight check too. But with that very good kind of roll there, Reader, you think back to reading of these books of kind of lost souls and stuff, and when someone dies sometimes in a rather tragic way, you remember things or stories of how souls can get trapped kind of in this plane, and that in order to be kind of released, they need this what's the word I'm looking for? This kind of like set to rest almost, and you get this feeling that maybe if you were to give these kids like a proper kind of, not so much burial, but like put them where they're supposed to be. Obviously, like when they die, they're not supposed to just die in their room. Like, and you just get this feeling that like if you just brought their bones to where their bones are supposed to be, they could probably rest at ease.
Thinking that, Rita would reach out his hand and just kind of gently place it on Drager's forearm with just slight pressure, so he would lower it, and relaying that I think the only way for them to their souls to be released is to actually give them a burial, sort of, a send off. I don't know that Kellenmore reigns here, but someone must take them to wherever they need to go, and I imagine we have to get them out of the house, though.
Drago would automatically relax and put the hammer down, and just, he would agree with Reader immediately and say, okay, and Drago agrees.
Well, children, I have a question for you. Is there any place you always wanted to go but just couldn't quite make it to?
And she kind of looks at you and she says that she just wishes that I just wish that I was laid to rest with my parents. And you just give a realization that now they realize full well that they're dead. And this is probably the first time that I don't know, maybe if you guys caught that, but she basically openly admits that she knows that she's a ghost. And she says that she just wants to be laid to rest with her parents.
Well, how about if you allow us to escape your room? We will bring you to rest with your parents, be they with the monster or somewhere else.
Dragar feels this very honorable. Dragar will help.
And she says that she understands that they've been in here for too long, and that the skeletons are obviously us. I don't like to talk about it to Thorn. It upsets him. But we starved to death many years ago, many years ago. She says, and she's kind of just whispering this to you, Alton. We really don't want you to leave, though. We really want you to stay with us, and we appreciate that you would do this for us. But
Or how about we compromise? How about you come with us?
and then with that, she like backs up and gets like really freaked out, and she's like, "No, I can't go down there. No,
Well,
that's where the monster is."
I must admit, okay, if we are to stay here very much longer, we will die. But we lack the attachment to this place that you do.
And with
And
that,
if that happens, then you will be alone again, and nobody will be able to put you to rest.
and she says that you don't understand. Anyone that goes down there, they never come back up.
Oh no, you see, you're making a mistake. Nobody has ever come back. But that is different from nobody can come back.
Dragar no want to walk stairs twice. Come on, kids, let's go.
And then with that, they see that you guys are just kind of like, you guys are basically getting up and starting getting ready to go. They look upset about it, but not hostile, and they just kind of like step back. You see like these little ghostly tears start to roll over the little boy's name, who is apparently named Thornbolt by Roosevelt, as she called her little brother Thornbolt. And they just kind of stand at the center of the room and they look at you, and the ghostly tears kind of rolling over Thorn's face, and Roosevelt kind of reaches her arm out and she's like, "Please don't leave us. We don't want to be alone again." And they just kind of like put their distance from you.
Do not worry. In but a few moments, the monster will be slain, and you will not be alone again. You will be reunited with your family.
And then with that, you guys are free to try to open the door or do what you want.
Dragar would go and just grab the door handle at that point. Try to open it.
And it does turn. Go ahead, Val.
Should we go straight down to this monster they speak of, or explore the rest of this house? Or will they even let us?
Dragar thinks that's a good question.
I'm all for leaving, but if we have to take the skeletons, we might as well bide our time.
Dragar has no use for things. Let's just get this done with.
Yes, Dragar, can you hold on to these children skeletons? I do not wish to hold them. They weigh too much for me.
Yeah,
You know, I am a very slight build.
I'll throw them in a bag.
I am about half a Dragar in size.
Yeah, actually, I have a pack that I can put them in.
Cool. So yeah, you're able to do that. And yeah, so you're able to turn the door. Are you guys gonna leave?
Yes.
When you leave, you hear Rosavelda say, "I'm sorry, friends, but we can't let you leave." And with that, they both give out this like terrific screech or scream. Their kind of cute children faces detort and like shift into this demonic, almost like ghouly, terrifying ghost, and it just kind of they dart forward, blasting towards. Let me roll a dice to see if they're gonna blast forward to Dragar and Reedier, and you guys both have to make a charisma save.
Can I, at this point, like throw the bag up in front of the ghosts just to remind them that I have their skeletons, or do I have to make the save first?
Much too quick for you to even do that. They just like instantly, once they do it, it's almost like a flash forward. All right.
Thank God.
All right. So, what'd you guys roll?
You got a 19.
You got a 19. Dan got a 4. So Dan fails. So Dan, you'd be so kind as to look into the subfolder PC notes and important stuff. I'm going to show you something, and no one else is going to be able to see it. And you just read that over really quick.
Sorcerer.
Where is that?
Give me a second. I'm adding you to it right now. And you should be able to see it now. And it's in the PC notes and important stuff.
Where is PC notes and important stuff?
So click the little kind of paper icon that says journal on the toolbar.
Got it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. And you should see a file. Don't really say what it says to anybody, obviously, and then try not to meta as much as you guys can. But you tell me when you read that over, Dan.
All right, give me a second, man.
And as they do that, the two ghosts kind of bolt in and this presumably disappear. Reedier kind of holding his hands up and protecting himself. Dragar just like gets hit in the face by it, but nonetheless, both ghosts are gone and the room falls silent.
Sorcerer, should we destroy the skeletons or wait for the ghosts to reappear and attack them?
Well, destroying the skeletons has nothing really to do with the bodies. At the best, they would be not at rest forever, and that would not be any better than what it currently is.
And in the moment, still kind of loaded with adrenaline, kind of forgetting his fear, Reader, puts his hands down from in front of him, looking around, thinking they're, going to be swirling around, screaming at him like the nanny ghost, and just kind of indignantly yells into the empty room, "We were going to help you!"
Almost done, man.
Yep. And you're met with no kind of retort, Reader. And as they were like kind of darting forward at you, it wasn't so much as like a hostility as it was desperation. And you take it however you guys want to, whether you're pissed at them or not. But whatever they tried to do, it was more desperation than anger.
If we see them again, I'm going to do my best to end them.
Oh yes, you should kill the ghost children. You have a ghost slaying weapon that I do not know about?
Val
I got
would look at his sword and say, I don't know, but we seem to be able to kill whatever that nanny thing was, and I do believe that was a ghost. You and me killed her, didn't we?
I think at this point Dragar would look around and Dragar would be like, Dragar thinks we should go check out the rest of the fellows.
Alright, let us get some more clues so that we may fight this great evil with all the knowledge we use.
Yes, let's go check out something else.
At that, hearing that, because it was kind of contradictory to what he had said earlier, Reader raises an eyebrow, but doesn't think anything of it after that.
Dragar would continually, just walk around, and he just stumble around and look in his pouch every once in a while, look in his side bag, and he would walk with the group to the next door.
And do we want to take, now that we kind of know the layout of the room by Alton, the door to the left is like this kind of storage area that the secret passageway to the basement is, and then the door to the right is another spare bedroom on this floor, and those are the only two doors you haven't explored yet.
Yes, we will explore the spare bedroom and then the storage.
No, Dragar would like to check out storage first.
No. I think perhaps we'll do the other one first. Okay.
Dragar thinks storage is better.
Why is that?
Dragar would look in his pouch and he would walk around a little bit and he'd be like, we should just keep checking out. Let's check out storage first and then we'll check out the other one.
Dragar, are you okay?
Why would you question me? Why don't no questions? Let's just go check out storage now.
Okay, I will go with you.
And Dragar would look over into the corner because we were in the main center room right now, and he would see the doll in the far corner with the head cut off, and he would start crying a little bit, and he would start getting very red in the face, like he was getting angry.
Dragar, why are you crying, and why are you insisting on storage?
Why have we not checked out another room yet? We should check out another room now.
Reader was going to reach out and open the door to the storage room, but then he hears Val's voice, Dragar, why are you crying? And he just pauses right there in place and turns around to look to see what's going on behind him.
At this point, I think Dragar would, his face would be getting very flushed, and he would be looking at the doll and looking back at the group and looking at his pouch, and he would run over to the doll and he would grab the doll and then he would run back into the children's bedroom and he would slam the door behind him.
So Val would look over to Reader and, using Thieves' Cant, so Alton can't understand what he's saying, say that Dragar is acting different, which would take quite a bit of time, and their conversation would sound very different to Alton.
Yep, and that's perfectly fine. Anyone that is kind of like noticing this can give a insight check to see if they can discern. Obviously, you guys probably have your suspicions out of game, but... And how do you reply to that kind of thieves' cant, Reader?
Just with a deliberate, slow nod, like not making any eye contact, but like giving him an acknowledgement that, yeah, I'm noticing that too. But for himself, he can't figure out. He knows something's wrong, but he can't figure out. He's not making the connection as to this sudden change in behavior.
Yeah, and Val, with that kind of insight, you don't really know what's going on, but the best way you can describe it it seems like Dragar is like uncomfortable in his own like self. Like it seems like for some whatever reason he's not used to being himself, and like it almost seems like something else is going on, like someone else is perhaps obviously in him or something. You would know that if someone has kind of taken him for like a little ride, jumped inside of his body and started controlling him, you would know that they could still be like, you can't kill it out of him, but you could still like give it like intimidations and kind of like you obviously assume that the girl has maybe possessed him, and maybe if you just try to intimidate him or something, he might like
Oh.
give into it. Like whatever you do to the girl to kind of get your way with that, you could probably do that to Dragar and it might work.
So once again, using Thieves' Cant, he would say this to Reader, and then he would say, "Do I have you with me in case the sorcerer interferes with our attempt to help Dragar?"
There's a pause, and you can see that he's thinking, because Drow are pretty intimidating to him. You're the first two he'd ever met personally. He only hears horrible stories about what they do by the inland sea and around the Dales, and Alton could see him like Reader just look at him with a really like deep thought stare, like he's sizing him up and down, and he looks back at Val and just gives this like little shrug. And Val will be able to tell that Reader's not secure.
And what is Alton doing? Because he obviously knows that something strange is going on with his friend.
Yes, he would think for a brief moment, and then they would come to him. The child ran into the door, right? In the room and closed the door?
Yes, Dragar did.
Okay. I would attempt to open the door.
And it would open. There's no lock on it for whatever reason.
Dragar.
I would be sitting on the bed.
I saw the monster, Dragar. It ran out of the basement. Now's our chance. We can run down and reunite the children to their families. Quick.
You're lying. You are telling me lies.
Dragar, have I ever lied to you, Dragar? Dragar?
You're rocking on the bed with the head cut off doll, both pieces of it. And I'd just be like, I'd be still angry and be like, why are you trying to tell me? Sorry. Dragar says, why are you trying to tell me that? This is lies. The monster's still in basement. You can't fool me.
And you can give a persuasion, and then Val, you can also do what you want to do to try to cohorts Dragar, acting kind of strange, to do what you want to. Just say what you're going to do. Obviously, Alton, you're using a persuasion or a deception. Yep.
Alright, I'll do a deception. Oh, I'm pretty good at lying. That is a 20.
20, very nice. And just what is Val doing?
Val is real quickly, he's taking off the cloth that he's had around his eyes and switching it to this one that looks like it's been soaked in blood and wrapping that around his eyes, and then he's going to walk into the room with this like bloody cloth around his eyes and attempt to intimidate the barbarian, which he's more frightened of than the barbarian probably is of him, and then he's going to attempt to frighten said barbarian.
And what are you going to do to frighten him? Just kind of like give him a yell, or are you going to say something?
I am going to do the stupidest thing and hit him across the face, and then grab that doll and rip it to shreds in front of him.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Does he succeed? You gotta tell me. Because I got this worked out.
You got it worked out? Well, for the rule of cool, you can do what you have worked out as long as it's not murder Val instantly. And as far as what Alton said to you, Dragar, you believe him wholeheartedly for whatever reason. You just look into his eyes, and as he's telling you the monster's gone, you believe him. But whatever you want to react towards these guys, go ahead.
They're both doing this at the exact same time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that I would take the truth from Alton, and I would realize that he was telling me the truth, and then I kind of feel as though Val stepped in at the side and went off at the exact same time, but I was still kind of gazed into Alton, and I think I would look at Val, and I'd be like, and I would it just pitch red. All my tattoos would start getting beat red. Everything would just flare up. You'd almost see like my hair starting to stand on spikes, and almost like this ghostly aura of flame to just start coming out of me. And I'd be looking at Val and I'd be like, Dragar says that was bad idea. And it would be very scary for him.
So yeah,
Oh, Dragar. You can unleash anger upon him after we help your friends go to rest. Okay? I will allow it.
Val, you end up being way more scared of him than he was of you, although it was a good try. Luckily for you, Alton's there to kind of step in the side and calm him down, and he kind of believes whatever Alton is saying to him. Just the look in Alton's eye has this sincerity to it, this trustworthy look. And does Dragar calm down with that kind of information that the monster is gone and that it's safe to go into the basement?
Yeah, with that successful intimidation, Dragar would be good, and he would say, Dragar will follow you if you go downstairs.
Perfect.
You know, I'm so sure of it that I will lead the way. Okay? That is how sure I am.
Very nice. And you can have inspiration, Dan. You know what that is, right?
Yep.
Okay. And with that, Dragar seems comforted enough to start acting at least semi-normal and is ready to head downstairs if you guys are. With that, does Redir push open the last door that leads there? Or not leads there, but leads to the room that would lead there?
Not with the momentum of what's going on.
Okay.
As Alton was getting Dragar to follow him, he would have just filed in with them.
All right, so who wants to open the door?
Oh, Alton, he is firm in his belief that the one monster that was there left.
So this dusty chamber is packed with old furniture. Looks like chairs, coat racks, kind of standing mirrors, mannequins. They're all draped in white sheets, though, so you only kind of give the area of it. You can't really see precisely what they are, but they're all covered in these dusty sheets. Near an iron stove underneath one of the sheets is what looks like kind of a dresser or some kind of maybe trunk or chest or something.
Oh, that is
And
strange.
all these other kind of rooms, all the other kind of, there's just like furniture covered in these white sheets. But in the kind of center of the room near the wall, you see what looks like kind of a trunk, and it looks like it's not fully closed, like it's kind of propped open, like it has too much stuff in it to fully close.
I will flick my wrist, and with the snap of my fingers, you will see multiple lights floating in the room as I attempt to illuminate my surroundings with
All right,
dancing lights.
And these lights kind of dance around the room, illuminating it, and all you see is obviously still the sheets kind of giving these eerie kind of shadows as the lights flicker by them. The shadows themselves almost seem to dance with the light. But yeah, as you kind of center them around that, it does seem like it's some kind of trunk or something. You obviously can't see until you pull the sheet off, but with the lights on it, it's easy to tell that it's some kind of like case or chest or something containing something.
All
Obviously
right.
no movement. Everything kind of stands still except for the lights and shadows.
I will very carefully poke at the sheet with my sword.
All right, and as you kind of poke it off, you're met with this skeletal hand that just kind of sits there, and it shocks you at first. But then, as you kind of your eyes register on it, the skeletal hand does not move, and it's just sitting wrapped in this white velvet kind of blanket, but the blanket is stained with this kind of deep reddish brown, almost, it obviously seems a lot like blood stains, and it's just like soaked in it. There's barely any white left to the sheet.
Seeing Alton getting close to that and the hand coming out and kind of shaking off a little bit of what was going on, immediately Dragar would pull out his warhammer and smash the skeleton into the ground.
Yeah, and you swiftly just snap it right off, and the skeletal hand just shatters. Being very old, it kind of just goes into this dusty remain, and all that's left is like the forearm of the skeleton just still hanging there, not moving whatsoever. You kind of pull out almost the arm with the hammer, and as you kind of pull the arm out, a whole kind of skeletal corpse is almost dragged out of it. The skeletal corpse is wearing what seems like an old nurse or maiden clothes, and you can realize that it was the same kind of dress that the ghost in the nursery attacked you. It looks like the exact same clothing, only much more deteriorated. And she's wrapped in this velvet blanket stained with multiple blood kind of stains all across it.
Dragar says, Dragar, this is the nurse. Dragar knows this is the nurse. It's the nurse, right?
Oh, but of course.
Pretty sure it's the nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah, just automatically he would know that for sure who this was, and like without a doubt, he would not hesitate in telling the group. You know, Dragar knows this is the nurse.
It's upon seeing that reader, he almost says Rose, but he stops himself. Is it Dragar? And then kind of a breath. Do you have any? I can't quite figure out what happened to her. Can you tell by the evidence? Trying to cover his tracks there.
Go ahead, Dragar.
I was just gonna. Dragar no want to talk about it. He just knows who she is.
Yeah, perfect. You can give a medicine check. Anyone that wants to kind of discern it, though.
Okay, I will check the corpse. I'm quite familiar with bodies, if you know what I mean. But apparently she must have spontaneously combusted. I don't understand. It was horrible.
Obviously, she was
And
attacked.
does Reedier give a medicine check?
Would I be able to get anything with investigation, or it's kind of medicine or nothing?
Yeah, you can do an investigation too. That makes sense.
And then also be checking the trunk for I don't know anything else that might be in there.
So, kind of investigating the corpse, you see these kind of holes in the nurse's clothes or the maiden's clothes, and kind of fractured ribs and stuff. And the blankets also have these tears in it, and it becomes very obvious to you that this person was violently stabbed many, many times, like a ridiculous amount.
So it looks like it was just murdered and then stuffed into the trunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's kind of wrapped in these bed sheets that obviously would match the kind of bed that was downstairs in the room that she kind of spawned in.
Like it's something from an archaeological site, reader, because the skeleton's just kind of falling apart, right? Nothing's holding it together anymore, really.
Yeah.
He'll just rearrange it in like a little bundle, like he's trying to save something from an archaeological site, wrap it up and put it in his pack the same way the other two skeletons are in Dragar's. To hoping that at some point he'll be able to do something about her spirit.
Yes.
Perfect.
Perhaps what spontaneously combusted her is downstairs.
So yeah, you guys, with seeing the dollhouse, Alton, you know that the secret doorway is in the corner of the room, of the kind of really close to the chest, actually, directly to the right.
So I go and I expertly open the secret passage.
Yes, and it does, and it gives way to this narrow spiral staircase made of what seems like very old wood. It kind of spirals down, only being about 5 foot wide, and it descends easily with your dark vision. You can tell 50 feet down. Thick cobwebs kind of fill the shaft, and anyone without dark vision is not going to be able to see down it whatsoever.
So Val will step up and wrap his cloak around him, unsuccessfully sneaking, and not noticing that he has unsuccessfully done this, also peer down, and then take a couple steps down just to see if anything happens.
Do any of us not have dark vision?
I think we all do.
Yeah, we all do.
Two of us have superior dark vision, and two of us have plebeian dark vision.
So, as you head down there,
Just like the first 10 steps.
first
I will,
10 steps.
I will lead the way because I am a brave person, and there is definitely not any monsters here to kill us.
Dragar is still not taking the lead.
Yeah, Dragar seems probably pretty uneased right now. but he's trusting Alton nonetheless. Alton, as you kind of trek down, the echoing of your steps kind of just bouncing off the chamber as it goes down, you pause for a moment and realize that you hear something kind of droning on, very rhythmic and repetitive, and it's just not stopping. Basically, it is a continual sound that you can't really make out from being where you are, but you can give a perception or head down further if you wish to.
I will attempt to identify it.
Does anyone else hear this
And
sound?
I rolled. This is my second one in a row. So
Well, at least you're getting them out of the way. Like
I've gotten
percentage-wise.
at least 3 out of my last 7 rolls. So once.
Yeah, you just think you're like hearing something or whatever. Anyone following behind him would hear the same kind of thing though once they get about 30 feet down the staircase.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. What did we hear?
You can't really make it out, but it's very rhythmic and it is repetitive.
Okay.
Would a perception of 17 do anything?
It sounds a lot like chanting to you, Val. You can't make out the words, but it's just.
So Val, really quickly, tapping Reader on the shoulder, would say quietly in his ear, if he tries to run again, we need to block the stairway, right?
And he'll nod to that.
And you all are hearing this now, and as you get to the bottom of the staircase, it becomes apparent that there is some kind of chanting going on. You can't make out where it is, and as you get to the bottom of the staircase, the ground kind of gives way to this hardened carved earth. The walls made of clay and rock are very sturdy, but nonetheless look like they've just been like kind of etched into the ground, and this area almost built. Every like 5 feet, there's these like wooden and stone kind of supports that are holding up the wall and such. The chanting has gotten much louder, but much more audible, but not per se any more audible. Like you can't really hear what's being said, as it's just like echoing throughout this entire chamber. As you step forward 5 feet, you're met with this dark hallway. Obviously, you're all able to see well enough, kind of black and white with your dark vision. As you look down the hallway to the left, you're met with these 2 options to go either left or right, and then looking to the right of the hallway, you see what looks like a passageway that goes 20 feet down. There's no light whatsoever in this area, no torches or anything. In front of... Go ahead, Dragar.
Dragar is just starting to shake uncontrollably, and he's shaking to the point where he even says like, "Dragar is shaking. Is it cold down there?"
Oh, it is extremely cold. Do not worry. It will be warm soon enough. I will give you a blanket afterwards. Okay. Do not worry.
That was it.
And Alton will crouch low to the ground. Yes. And I will attempt to sneak my way over to the left. Seems good. Left is always good.
All right, and what did you roll for a sneak?
Sneaky sneak. I have a total of 12. Even better than 1.
At this point, Dragar would just be he'd kind of be familiar. It'd be weird. He'd kind of look at Alton and he'd be like, "Hold on," and he'd be like, "I kind of feel Dragar feels like something's around, something close, something familiar to the family of the girl."
And hearing this, Val would move quietly behind Dragar, just like 5 feet. So if he tries to run, I can attempt to grab him.
Yep, that's fine. You can kind of like ready in action if he does choose to run. Obviously, it'll be a contest, but Dragar for now is kind of planted, and he's giving this kind of information that he, for some reason, feels something is close by. Sneaking Alton, you're quickly met by a passageway, depending on where you go, left or right, actually.
I was going left, and then my companion, he told me something else.
Yeah, so you step out into the hallway, and immediately as you go left and hear Dragar say this, you're met with a passageway to your immediate kind of, I guess I'll just give you like north, east, south, and west. To your south, there is a passageway door, and as you look into it, it seems like there's this kind of statuette, and it seems like a crypt almost, something that would be significant or like obviously in place of a crypt.
And Dragar would just, he'd be like, Dragar feels death. Dragar feels as though death, family, little girl cannot explain.
I understand. This is perhaps the location that the parents are at, and once we deliver them to their parents, they will be able to rest in peace, and everything will be happy.
And
So
as
yeah,
you start to
go
become
ahead.
more agitated, Reader will pull out that doll the kid kind of forced into his chest earlier, and kind of doing almost like, but a more gentle version of what the ghost boy did to him, kind of pressing it against Rhaegar, saying, almost echoing the words, saying, Thornwolt told me that this might make someone feel better if they're scared.
And Dragar would just look at him, and he'd reach up and he would take it, and he'd say, Dragar says, my brother. Thank you. This was my brother's. And Dragar would just not understand, and he'd be like, I think we need to bury all these bones as fast as we can at the crypt of the family.
Yes,
So
and
yeah,
that will lead us onward.
so as you kind of, I'm assuming, go to the area that you just seen, Alton, like you're heading to the
Yes.
crypts. There's another
Yep.
passageway, kind of the opposing side north, going another way, but you can't really discern. There's like a stairway that seems to descend 5 feet, and then you'd have to go
Well,
further to see. But the crypts are to your
the
south.
crypts are far more important. I
Okay,
would
and
like
as you
for these people to be put to rest.
And as you walk down there, you're met with these another branching path. 2 doors that definitely are crypts, and the first one has this blank slab that looks like it's probably meant for like someone that, like, there's no names on it, and you would know that normally, like, when someone has a family, right, they usually put the name where they're supposed to be buried or whatnot, and this just seems like it's maybe like a spare one to the left, and to the right is a stone slab with the name Walter etched onto it, and this crypt is sealed.
Sealed doesn't we cannot gain access to it.
You could try to gain access to it, but like it's closed for now. It would take some force to push it open. Like, it seemed, you would realize it as it's probably a crypt that's sealed and someone buried inside of it.
So if anyone makes a move to open the crypt, Val would just kind of shrug and say, opening crypts now? We've already fought off ghosts. What's next? Skeletons?
And then Dragar would say, Dragar's parents are down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, perhaps you could help us find them down here. Can you perhaps lend a hand? You seem to be such a big, strong boy, you know.
And Alton or Jagar, you can give a insight with advantage to see if you can kind of discern where you're supposed to go.
Sweet.
You feel a strong pulling to the west of the hallway, so right instead of left, where you guys entered.
And Dragar says we need to turn around. We need to go back. Other side.
To the other side? Well, I suppose, but we must hurry. Okay.
And that's fine.
And as you guys kind of turn around and start walking to the right, this time the opposite way you came, you're met by 2 more passageways, actually 3 in total. One going westward into what seems like a, let me look it up here, some kind of dining hall, but that's still a little bit in the distance. And as you get halfway down the hallway, you're met by 2 more doors, 2 more passageways, one to your left and right. And once you get there, it's very easy to tell that these are 2 more sets of crypts, both with 2 separate passages or 2 separate areas to seal people. The doors are to the left And let me see here. Sorry. Yes, to the left are, or to the right, sorry, are both open. The doors to the left are both sealed.
And Dragar would say, and Dragar says, thank God the monster is gone. This is where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, and he kind of directs you towards the two open doors areas where the crypts are. And if you walk in there, you would see that both crypts are labeled, one for Rosavelda and one for Thornbolt. And there's these empty kind of coffins inside this stone briar, inside these little rooms with these big stone doors to push them shut.
I think we found your home. Perhaps you can finally go to sleep.
And then, yeah, are we putting the bones in the crypts, obviously, or?
Yeah, Dragar he would look around at first, and he would notice that everybody's looking at him, and then he would remember down at the satchel, and he would go to the satchel, and he would just lift up the satchel and hold it up for the group, and he would just sit there and he would look up at everybody. He wouldn't say anything.
At that, Reader would take the satchel and place it on the ground, kind of opening it really, really with a lot of deliberateness, taking out one bundle, then the other, and then placing the skeletons in their respective crypts, and recovering the doll from Dragar if he would give it up, and putting it in the crypt with Thornbolt.
At this, yeah, Dragar's, his eyes are welling up, and he hands over the doll, and he just kind of starts smiling a little bit.
And then, yeah, as you push the door seal, making sure that the coffins are kind of tucked away with these bones inside them, bundles respectively placed down, you seal the door, and you just kind of hear the sliding of these big stone doors as it seals, and like a puff of dirt kind of comes out as it finally closes. And then you all just kind of stand there for a second in silence. And then momentarily, as you're all just kind of looking there, like standing, waiting for something to happen, you almost like wait a second too long, and it seems like nothing's going to happen. But then as you walk away, the essence of Rosavelda kind of lifts itself from Dragar, and your attention is all directed towards her. And then quickly, Reader would feel something kind of behind him, and behind him is Thorn. And Rosavelda steps forward, and she says, "Thank you. Thank you all so very much. We are finally at peace. We can finally rest. We are forever in your debt, and our souls will rest at peace for all eternity now." And Thornbolt kind of looks at you, Reader, and he holds out the teddy bear, and he says, "Here, mister, I don't need this where I'm going. I think you can use it, so that you feel safe, and if you ever get scared," and he just kind of hands it to you, or holds it out.
Val would actually smile, because if we're sealing these, he would definitely do this and say, "You owe us nothing. We simply gave you a lie for a lie," and leave them to interpret it.
And then with that, their souls kind of just drift off, and they have smiles on their face regardless, and they just kind of drift away. Dragar, you feel completely back to like normal, but a little bit worn, kind of exhausted, I guess. Everyone gets inspiration for putting those souls to rest, or what you would think would be to rest.
Can I have double inspiration? Because I already have an inspiration.
Unfortunately, no double inspiration.
I did the monologue for nothing. That's okay.
It would be. I think about letting inspiration stack sometimes, but then I don't know.
I would collect all of the inspirations.
That's what I feel. People just hold on to it for too long. I feel they just always.
I would hoard it like a fat man who had discovered a Twinkie hoard.
And it would come out every single time at the last boss, like 30 inspirations.
But of course, what else? You have to. It's part of the Too Good to Use club, like elixirs. You know how it is.
Nothing we found so far, or anything the kids said, giving an indication of what the maid's name was. Because I remember the ghost, other than screaming, was mute up until that point. But I'm trying to remember if the kids ever gave any indication, or if we saw anything in any of the letters, or I don't know, any kind of like nameplates on any furniture or anything.
I doubt we'll ever know her name, as her body wasn't sealed in a crypt.
Dragar thinks that empty crypt might be a good idea.
Yes, she deserves something. You know how it is. Sometimes the helpers they don't get the good crypt. They get the side crypt. You know how it is.
Dragar kind of be shaking it off, and he would know that, he'd come to look up to the group, and he would realize, he'd be like, if there is something down here, we need to be careful. She was very, very scared. And he'd be very tired, so he wouldn't be able to stand all the way up. He'd kind of be holding himself there.
Especially since I get a feeling that every minute we spend down here, we're taunting fate.
Yes. Let us. We can give her the unnamed grave because she is an unnamed individual, and then we can get the fuck out of here.
So
Yeah.
that was on the other side, so I guess the group would turn the other way and head across the other way.
Yeah. So we will return and give
Aha!
her.
That's why you guys are ignoring me, because my mic unplugged itself. I'm just like talking, and you guys are just talking over me. Like, man, these guys are being dicks right now.
I know.
You guys can give an insight to see if you can kind of put together this whole. You haven't heard the maid's name or anything, but you've been given some clues, and you kind of get this like feeling like something's off. See if you can put it together with an insight.
I think Val put it together pretty well.
Yep.
Well, Reader has a suspicion that he doesn't like.
So yeah, putting with those two checks, definitely readers and definitely also Val's. It kind of about thinking about it, her being stabbed in a trunk, this baby being in the nursery of her bedroom. You put together, and then also from the letter there was mention of what was it, a bastard? There's the notes actually in your guys' PC notes and stuff if you ever want to read over it again. But basically a bastard child was born. So you put it together that this maid probably mothered or birthed this stillborn child from the affair of the husband. And you would suspect that the wife probably went into a jealous rage and stabbed her. And you would probably think that her bones will never be rested in this house. Although you don't really know if you can ever like really rest, like her soul might be trapped, it might not be, you don't really know. You definitely know that putting her in this crypt won't be doing anything for her because she was not very much liked in this house on the account that she was stabbed many, many, many times.
Just drop the bones, Reader. They serve us no purpose.
We could perhaps defile the mother's bones.
Right. Reader's been thinking about this for a while, ever since he saw the Walter and the blank one, and that the kids already had their names etched. It'd been like kind of buzzing in the back of his head, and his weird sense of cosmic justice kicks in, and he is the blank crypt. Were you able to open that one?
That one was open.
Okay. If there's nothing in there already, he places the maid's bones in there, pushes it closed, just with a piece of chalk, just writes maid and mother on it. And just mumbles to himself a little thing that his stepfather used to say about Kellenbor taking you to the plains, before Ball and Sarah can grab you up.
Perfect. And as you do that, you kind of wait there in silence, and you're not met with the same kind of specter of Rosavelda and Thorn. And standing there for several seconds, you get the sense that nothing's going to happen. As you walk away, you think for a second that you hear a gentle kind of sobbing, but as you stop and try to listen closer, there was nothing actually there. And it's kind of really hard to tell anyways with this droning chanting going on, so it's really hard to kind of get a sound of anything, but for a split second, you thought that you maybe heard some kind of sobbing.
So Val kind of calls to the group and says, if we encounter this monster, fight or flee. They've talked it up to be a formidable foe.
Dragar a little tired, but ready to go.
Yeah, and kind of like standing around Dragar and just letting all these, like sealing the mace or the nurse, in the crypt and stuff. You've been standing around for about 10-15 minutes, and you're starting to feel yourself again completely. And then you guys are faced with going two separate ways now. You've explored the crypts, essentially. Obviously, the other one, if you were to take a quick step in, you would see that it is etched in with the name Gustav Durst and Elizabeth Durst. The Gustav one is completely sealed. The Elizabeth one almost seems like it's not quite fully push sealed or push shut, as there's like it's not completely sealed. It's like a crack open almost.
Should we seal that? Considering that the ghosts are wandering around, I really don't want to be facing other people today.
Dragar wonders if there's anything in it at all right now. Is there
Yeah,
anything?
so does everything have a person inside of it?
You can push it open or slide it open if you want.
If anyone slides that open, they're on their own.
Dragar wonders if we could see through crack.
You can give a perception if you want.
Reader's torn because his curiosity is burning, but at the same time, he's also afraid of everything in this house, especially with that chanting in the background the whole time. He's like, I'm in the Temple of Doom right now, and he doesn't want to aggravate more undead terrors.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
You do hear this very humanistic chanting going on the whole time, kind of just like constantly being a tone above you guys. With that, Dragar, you kind of peek in, and you see a stone briar, much like the coffin that you just sealed the kids in, only adult size, and the lid is like slightly slid off. It's not completely sealed.
Dragar would stand up and he would look back to Val and he would look over to Reader and he would finally rest his gaze on Alton and he'd be like, "What Dragar thinks with the chanting? Maybe we just let this one shot."
You know, I'm not opposed. I would like to just get out of here, and maybe if this makes them quiet, then that is good. You know.
Yeah, so I think I would reach over, Dragar would reach over and he would just, if he could do it by himself, he would try really hard, and if he couldn't, he would at least try to fake that he was trying really hard without looking like he was trying really hard, and he would try to move the top of the
He is
thing shut.
muscular enough to push it shut on his own.
Beautiful. So yeah, I would just close it.
He does that first with one arm, and it's not quite enough to move it, but then kind of nonchalantly he puts a second arm on and just does so as like effortless as he can try to make it seem like it was, but he pushes it shut nonetheless.
And he would just look over at Val and he would kind of wink and smile and he'd be like, "Okay, maybe we should move on."
And yeah, as you come back out to the hallway, immediately now, since you went into the crypt on the right, you can go left into this dining room, which is pretty much about 10 feet away from you, or you can go back right where Alton's seen a little bit ways off to the northward side, so basically right and then left, a staircase going down 5 feet into like more dark.
Val would just pipe up, saying, I don't care which way we go, but let me check it out first, unless someone thinks they're stealthier than I.
Oh, I mean, I am of
And
course
he would be
stealthier than you,
glaring at Alton.
but you know, I am a giving man. I will let you do it, right? You know.
And Dragar at this point would start feeling like himself again and he'd be like, "Dragar wonder what's in dining room. Maybe some food."
Oh, perhaps I am looking a bit gaunt. Perhaps I could use a bite or two.
And he'd start peeking his head if he could, like, even from 10 feet away, he'd start trying to see through the doorway, or because you obviously said it was a dining room, so we know it's a dining room, so there's no door, right? Can't hear you, Chris. You're gone again.
Can you hear me now?
Because our dungeon
Yeah.
master has died.
I'm back. So yeah, you kind of peer down into this hallway, and it opens up into this like 30-foot dining hall. There's this plain wooden table flanked by two long benches. Moldy humanoid bones lay strewn on the dirt floor.
Yeah, so I would look back at the group and I'd be like, "Did I gotta see these weird moldy skeletons?"
Oh, I see many of those here. It's not very unusual.
Not sure the good food though. Just gotta tell you.
When you say humanoid, what are the features of the skulls and the sort of frame that we're looking at?
You'd have to get closer to discern that. You'd actually have to walk in the room and give a perception.
So Val, once again, being sneaky, using the shadows to advantage, goes and investigates one of these skeletons.
And they look very humanoid to you.
And Dragar would start walking down the corridor behind him, not so nonchalantly.
Val would turn and look at him and kind of wave him off real quick, just in case something is in this room, and he'd take a quick look around to see if there is anything.
And
Yeah, and as you
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I just said back off.
Okay, and as you get into the center of the room, the passageway you came from was the east. There's a passageway kind of sharply going to the left westward. To your north, there's another passageway that leads down. It kind of tucks itself around a corner and then goes down some stairs. And then to the right in your south, there seems like this little kind of alcove or like little nook, like cut out from the room. Maybe like it's really hard to discern what it is. Maybe a storage or something, but there's no door on it, and it's just kind of like goes 5 feet into the wall south of this dining room.
So Val would motion to them all to stay put, and then he'd walk back closer to him and say, if I'm not back in 2 minutes, you can come through. I'm probably going to be dead. And then we'll walk off and look down each of these. The nook, he will just like peek around, and the other 2 hallways he'll go down about 10 feet and then come back to this room.
Okay. Let me see. You peek into the nook or the alcove / nook first, and it's just like this empty kind of area. There's more bones piled up here. Looking around, it doesn't really seem like anything unusual. There's a little hole kind of in the ceiling. It looks like carved or dug away, but there's seems like nothing of interest. Going westwards, you poke your head out, and you're met with this kind of crossroad section or intercross of hallways. One going west, east, or west, south, and then north also. Coming back into the dining room and taking that north hallway, marching down the stairs a little bit, you're immediately met by another set of stairs pretty much going back up in the different direction, and then another hallway that goes 20 feet down to more stairs, a set going west downwards, and a set to the south going upwards.
So coming back, the first thing I would say to Reader, who I believe has made a creak with one of the floorboards, he would say, I would trust you sometimes to be a bit more stealthy. And then he would say, this basement is a labyrinth, and then convey what he saw to everyone.
Yeah, that stealth check is as you went, when you checked the alcove and then we're going deeper out, Reader tried to quietly go forward to the bones, but then, found his shin met one of those chairs or something, and he even might have heard him behind you blurt out, "Damn it!" as he stumbled a little bit as he entered the middle part of the room.
Yeah, and I'm assuming everyone comes into the dining room now that Val comes back and kind of relays this information. And what is everybody else doing in the dining room?
Trigger's looking around the table, and he's ignoring the skeletons altogether, and he's just, he's going through some of the bowls and the cups and whatever's on the table.
You might want to watch out. Most of the food will be very decomposed.
He's checking it out anyway.
While Drager's checking the food, Reader takes a knee down by these skeletons because he's trying to figure out what race these things were. Because so far he's only seen humans in the town. He doesn't, and he knows he's not in. Well, he knows at least he's not in the Sword Coast anymore. He doesn't know whether or not he's still in Faerun somewhere, but he's just trying to get another grasp as to what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you're kind of picking up these different bones and looking at them, most of them look human. Like they have the same kind of, or at least very close to it. It's kind of hard to tell since a lot of them are decomposed, but most of them have the kind of framework of a human or something very similar to it. As you kind of are looking around, you can't help but notice that near the alcove there's a bone that looks considerably different.
And by different how?
It just doesn't look human.
So I mean, Just as
You
an
can,
assumption, he could have thought maybe it's an animal bone that somehow got mixed in, or
yeah, you can approach it if you want, or do with what you want with that information.
yeah. While they're checking the other things in the room, Reader would approach that.
All right.
He's already in CSI mode right now. He's kind of like once he gets into this kind of rhythm, he's not always sweating and shivering.
All right. And as you're kind of approaching it, you're studying it, and give an investigation to see if you can discern what it is.
While he's doing that, Drago would pick up like a bone or something off the table, and he would look over at Octon, and he would try to hide it from Val, but he would look at Octon and smile and be like, "Hey."
So yeah, as you kind of step forward, and it's just like tucked away in the alcove, and you like step forward. The alcove like pretty dark and whatnot. You take a couple steps forward, kind of not easily, and you look at it, and you're still not close enough to see. So then you take another step forward, and you try to look at it again, but you realize that you're gonna have to kind of like go right in there. And as you step right in there, and you finally pick up this bone and begin to study it, you're met with the sound of something like slithering incredibly fast. And as you look up, you see this dark hole, but not before long enough to even do anything about it. Something bursts out of the hole. You're met with the sight of these like molded green teeth and like tentacles just kind of flying everywhere, and this thing instantly dashes out and attacks you. Everyone roll initiative.
Feels like I should be making a reflex save or something.
A very impressive 5 for Alton.
And they'll show you the token of what just flies out into Reader's face.
That is awful.
I forgot to click on my token before rolling, so...
So did I. I didn't even realize I had a token.
Yeah, you guys all have... Are you not on this page that I'm on? Here, I'm going to shift, and that should show you where all your guys' tokens are right now. They're really big.
There you go. I am a very large token, apparently.
Yeah, I just made it all really big for whatever reason, just because we're obviously...
I'm the sexiest of tokens.
Should we re-roll after clicking the tokens, or is there a way we can just punch it in?
You can click the tokens and re-roll, but then just tell me their original number.
It should automatically go into the initiative tracker unless you don't have a macro for it.
Chris,
if
you failed again. You told us what it was again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever Greek is, I have no idea. It is a disgusting creature of whatever, please.
I'm not really like hiding this one so much. It doesn't really matter that you guys know what it is.
To be honest, that is one of the few creatures I do not know very well.
And
I'm more familiar with the equines, the unicorns, and the pegasinos.
Which
Dragon-
buttons on the token is for initiative?
The actual... You just click the token first, and then you pull up your character sheet,
Okay.
and click initiative itself, the letter, or the word, sorry. I closed the wrong sheet. And pull up that guy's character sheet, close it. Reader, and what was your original roll, Reader?
Original ended up being the same, actually. It was a 13.
Destiny. Alright, and it's going to attack you first. Oh, it's going to attack twice, that's nasty. Alright, let's pull this open. For some reason it keeps closing on me. There it is.
AC 13.
Should be
That's your AC, is a 13? So yeah, it lands immediately on your face, and its tentacles start sharply wrapping around you. You feel this like extreme tension immediately go around your wrist as you have this fear that it's going to break your bones.
Actually, well, it should be 14, actually, but I don't think that's going to make a difference.
As it's starting to get to this tension that it might actually break your bone, you tear it off and rip the tentacle away. You throw it to the ground, and it kind of lands in the alcove and lets this like terrifying kind of, I don't even really know, like a shriek or something. You've never heard a noise like this before in your life. And then it dashes forward at you again, whipping with its tentacles frantically, snapping its beak-like mouth. This time it hits for 6 damage as the tentacle just kind of wraps itself around you and again starts pulling. And as it does have you this time, and your arms are frantically trying to pull the tentacle off, it's much tighter this time. And he jolts you forward with his tentacle, and then snaps at you with the beak for another 5 damage as he almost like bites your hand right off. And Alton, your turn. You see this hideous creature just having Reedy kind of wrapped and like biting on him.
I know what this is. This is a baby purple worm. And I charge forward bravely, perhaps not knowing what it truly is, as I attempt to cut it to pieces with a pair of strikes. On the hand of my associate, yes. I don't know why this macro is not rolling damage, but come on.
Every now and then the macros like weird out.
Alright, well,
If you go into your character sheet and under settings, you have to go to it's set on don't auto roll damage. Click to auto roll damage next time.
alright, well, I did both attacks. I believe both are hits, correct? 16.
Yes, both are hits as you slash into it twice with your short sword in a flurry.
So what you see is the expert drow. He cuts it, and then on the backhand he cuts across the same wound, bleeding the creature thoroughly, as he does a very, very impressive 7 damage to it.
Yes, and you cut off the tentacle that's wrapped around Reader's arm. It splats away, kind of the one end still wrapped around his arm. This purple kind of bloodish glue, like gooey blood starts seeping from it. It lets out another horrifying shriek. Is there anything else you want to do, Alton?
Oh no, that was my action and my bonus action and my movement.
Perfect.
I'm quite tuckered out this turn.
Chris, I just wanted to point something out because I could be wrong, but I think my initiative should be above Drager's because my modifier is higher.
Yeah, that's fine.
And what do I click to roll damages?
So go to settings, and then there'll be a thing that says don't auto roll damage, and just turn that to auto roll damage.
Burst. Okay.
If you can't find it, let me know. But Reader, you're up, and as you kind of grasp with your offhand that was just bitten, you have this like blood dripping from your forearm from the bite of this creature. It's just sitting there as Alton dashed in and cut off the tentacle, freeing you. It's just like sitting there hissing at you. It's like slimy, like snake-like body is just like withering there, like looking towards hunching or like dashing forward at you again. What do you wish to do?
As when the thing first landed on him, Reader attempted to scream, but instead threw up into his own mouth. And then, the terror that followed. He scrambles to his feet, drawing his short sword, and Alton's still engaged with it.
Yes.
Okay.
Technically, so are you.
Then I will attack it. If I can.
All right, I'll pull it up for you, Alton, and do it. And where did you roll?
17.
That is definitely a hit. Yeah, it should be fixed now.
So if he's adjacent, I'm getting the sneak attack.
Yep, definitely.
So a total of 8.
Perfect. And what does that look like as you're cutting into this thing? You cut away another chunk of it. Feel free to describe it.
It's still alive?
Yes.
Okay, so he scrambles up to his feet, drawing his short sword in the same motion, and kind of just as a wild stab, he lunges forward into the thing, managing to draw some blood in return, but not wanting to be anywhere near it because it thoroughly frightens him. I'm going to use my cunning action to disengage, and he moves as far as he can away from this horrible, wriggling creature.
Yeah, and you're able to move to the exact opposite side of the room.
Do not worry, I will contend against it.
And Val, you're up, and you see this whole kind of mess go on as Alton and Reedy are slashing into this hideous worm-like snake creature with tentacles for a mouth and a beak in the center of it with these sharp, jagged teeth.
So I'll get my sneak attack because Alton's in range, right?
Yep.
Okay, so almost the exact same as Reader, except I'm coming from the middle of the room. I come in and slash with my sword. And sorry, okay, I assume that's a hit.
Yes.
You're quite good at rolling high tonight.
Well, dealing an impressive 5 damage. Val will kind of curse softly that his blade didn't sink in as deep as he wanted to, and then using cunning action, he will disengage and not go as far as Reader, but just out of this monster's range.
It appears that Alton is providing all the party favors today.
And Val is actually going to curse Alton for being in the way of his sword strike, so he didn't do as much damage.
Is that what you tell the women too?
And yeah, so Dragar, you're up now, and you do what you want.
I think at this point, you know, Beast is pretty bloody and it's not holding on to anybody, so I'd probably just is it encircled, or were Reader and Val able to back off?
I ran away. Like, you saw Reader stumbling past you, trying to flee from the thing.
Okay, so there's an opening then. I have an opening to get to it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
There's
Yeah.
a swarm spot next to Alton.
I'd walk in and I'd pull out the silver longsword and I'd try to, hopefully, we'll see what happens. I tried to slice up and I don't think I did.
Yeah, you missed, and as you cut into this thing, its hide is really thick, and you'll notice that as people are cutting off its tentacles, it has quite a bit of them, and as you actually land your short sword into the actual body part of this creature, its hide is very thick, and it's really hard to actually puncture it. Although it looks like a snake, it has a much harder kind of skin, and your sword just actually bounces off of it to your surprise. And as you look at it, you would presume that with all these strikes it'd be pretty bloodied, but the tentacles that you're cutting off doesn't even really seem to bother it that much. And it's
Is your macro incorrect? It says +3. I'm just curious. But I mean, it's still missed.
It's got rage turned on. Sorry.
Oh, that's just the rage damage. Your attack roll itself, what's your strength modifier?
3.
And then your proficiency is +2, so it should be +5. Let me just look at your character sheet really quick to see why I didn't do that. What did you attack with? Your short sword?
Perhaps
Yeah,
it thinks he's
the
not
longsword.
proficient with it.
Are you,
No.
yeah, are you proficient with longsword?
Yeah.
No. I
Yeah,
don't think I am.
I can't
As a
remember.
barbarian, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah,
martial weapon. Yeah, okay, sorry.
yeah, so you just missed that, but nonetheless, with another +2, it's still not enough to hit this thing.
Okay.
And it is back up, and now with Dragar, you kind of lunging forward at it and hitting into its hide. It sees a nice bit of dwarven flesh exposed as your arm is still kind of trying to bring itself back from the attack, and it's going to dash forward, whipping what tentacles it has left, and let's see if it does so. 22 is definitely a hit as it wraps its tentacle actually around your arm and does 7 kind of slashing damage as it cuts through the skin of your wrist, and then it pulls you forward and tries to snap at you with its beak. You're able to stick the sword enough in its beak to kind of stop it from biting onto you, though, as you only take 7 piercing damage.
Alright.
Alton, you're back up.
Oh, please do not hurt another hair on his head. Only I am allowed to touch him. And I will strike out at this foul, disgusting snake that is accosting my friend. But apparently I am too distraught at the actions of this monster as my first strike misses. And as I worry for the life of my dearest dwarf, I will attack again with my offhand. And this time I find a much better purchase, but the attack is quite sloppy. I'm not quite as good with the offhand, and I merely chip it for 2 damage.
Yep. And Reedier is not back yet, or are you back?
It doesn't
You're
look
on
like
mute.
he's back
I'm
yet.
back.
Okay.
Oh, he is.
So the thing is still alive, wriggling around, fighting
Yeah.
everyone.
The only thing that you guys have managed to do is cut off a couple of its tentacle-like things. As anyone's actually hit the skin, it's much tougher, and it seems to have some kind of resilience almost to your attacks for the most part.
From across the room, he takes a few breaths to steady himself, still bleeding all over the place. He gives a little, reaching into his pocket, he kind of gives the decaying teddy bear's hand a little squeeze, unconsciously, to steady himself, and then sheathes his sword and readies his short bow, and then just moves to an angle to where he can see the thing. I think that uses up all my actions, though.
Yeah, and you find Yeah, you can drop the sword and pull out the thing and still shoot. If you actually want to sheath the sword and then pull out your bow, then you can't. But if you just drop the sword on the ground, then you can still attack.
Okay, he'll just kind of toss it off to the side then, and give it a shot.
Just as a rules clarification for you, dropping an item is a free action, pulling one out is an interaction, and none of those will stop you from attacking.
But he misses anyway, trying to not hit any of his friends.
Perfect. Yeah, and this creature is still. It's kind of hard to tell how alive it is and how not it is, but for how like vigorously it's moving, you presume that it still has enough life left in it to put up a good fight, and it's still dangerous. Val, you're up, seeing an arrow just be notched by Vidir and kind of just fly a little bit shy of its target, not wanting to hit his companions. What do you wish to do?
So Val feels like his hit and run tactics seem to be working, so he is just gonna do it again. So he's going to once again run forward and attack and miss, and then
Clangs off the side of the wall.
yeah, and then as an afterthought, while he's slowly backing up from the Grick, he would use. Actually, never mind. No, I wouldn't do that because I didn't have that drawn. So he would just disengage and back up again.
All right.
And kind of say to Alton, I can't rescue him. He's your friend.
Oh, I know. Apparently, I am the only one capable of harming him. I have magical short swords, apparently.
Oh yeah? I've dealt damage.
Oh, not this time, though. No.
And as those two are bickering, Dragar, you're up, and you kind of are lining up your short sword, I guess, to see if you can strike this creature.
Yeah, he's got my left arm or my right arm?
He no longer has it. It was just kind of like an attack, basically.
Alright. So yeah, at this point I would be getting angry, but I wouldn't be all the way there yet. And I would reach for my warhammer. And I would attack with the warhammer if I could, one-handed.
So you're pulling out your offhand a warhammer, or?
No, what am I doing here?
You can drop your sword and then pull out the warhammer, and then attack, or you can sheath the sword, pull out the warhammer, and not attack. But to pull out the warhammer, you have to drop the weapon, not sheath it.
Yeah, I think Dragar was pissed off that the sword didn't seem to do that much damage, and as just in love with the warhammer anyway, he just drops the sword, and he takes the warhammer and he attacks two-handed then at that point.
Perfect. Go ahead and try. Nice. You definitely hit, and for a grand total of, what is that? It's 2d10.
Yeah, 1d10.
1d10. What is it rolling that +6 for then?
+3 bludgeoning, or I don't know if that's good.
So then I don't know what the extra number is for, but
That's for the crit that he didn't get.
oh, got you.
That's assuming you had
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely land this, and you crunch into the back of this like creature is where its spine should be. For 9 damage.
11 for these raging.
Right.
I have a quick question.
What do you got?
If you're using an offhand weapon, do you also get sneak attack to that or no?
It applies one to your first attack.
First attack. Okay, thank you.
So what I often do, if you want to maximize damage as a rogue, you should try to always dual wield just in case your first attack misses. Unless you want to run away like a coward.
So yeah, you land your warhammer right into this thing's back, and normally you would expect to smush such a creature, Dragar, but again, its thick kind of bony spine is enough to not be killed by the attack. It is now up, and it looks rather pissed at you for doing that. It is going to again attack at you, unfortunately, but you have rage now, so you have some resistances. God damn. It whips you with a tentacle for half of 11 damage, so 5.
Farewell, dearest friend.
And then again, it dashes forward with a beak bite attack for a total of 2 damage. So a grand total of 7 damage.
Yeah, I'm still hanging on really well here.
All right, perfect. Alton, you're up, and you see this thing just wailing on your friend again, and you're getting flashbacks of the ghost, pretty much almost ending Dragar's life. What do you wish to
Yes.
do?
I will. I will not lose my another friend, so I will attack it with reckless abandon. It is too hard to make new friends. You know how it is. Nobody likes to trust a drow, so I have to find dumb ones. You know. And the first strike is a 14. Does that hit?
It does just hit.
All right. You see the strike barely land as I do 5 damage.
All
And
right.
as I cut into the creature, I decide to cut the other way with my other sword. Please, please let go of my friend. But the sword attack, it is sloppy. He's not quite as good as the two weapons as he would like to.
So yeah, now that you guys have been beating on this thing for a while, there's wounds starting to open up on the side of its body. Many of its tentacles have been sliced off, and it looks rather bloodied at this point. Alton did some more damage to your meteor. What do you wish to do now?
From here, I have a clear angle to it if I was to shoot an arrow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he steps up onto one of the tables in order to be able to try to shoot down and not hit anybody, and knocks an arrow and loosens it at the thing.
Oh,
There it is.
the Critteroni. Ooh, 15 damage. Plus 8.
Well, I think that's...
That is all of the damages. 20 a lot. I think it dies.
And we are doing the rule of max damage with the one dice. I don't know if your rolls are accounted for that.
No, the macro, I think, is just rolling the dice multiple times.
Yeah.
But he
So
did get max damage, I think.
so that's 2 max damages then, by the looks of it. Plus 3. So was that 15 damage? Am I doing that right? Or
Plus
is that
sneak
plus the
attack.
sneak attack? Where's the sneak
That
attack?
is telling me 23. The 6 plus 2.
All right. Describes what it looks like as you slay this creature, dear.
So everyone's been hitting it and opening up little wounds, and the wounds have been just slowly splaying wider and wider. And Reader, still nervous and shaking and tasting vomit and bile in his mouth, knocks another arrow, really disappointed with his first shot, just really focusing on one of the bloody spots of this thing, draws it to full draw and lets it go, just on instinct. And the arrowhead just manages to find one of these holes and go all the way through it, hitting nervous system tissue and vital organs.
Yeah, and its body like stiffens up for a second, and it almost gives like another menacing shake as it's about to lunge forwards, but then its body just falls to the ground lifelessly, giving a kind of thud. You see like slime and blood kind of just dripping off of this thing.
Oh, Draker, I saved your life. Oh, I was so
Draker.
worried about you. Oh,
Val's mouth just drops as he looks over at Reader, and he's like, can't quite believe that Reader killed something.
Oh, Dragar would look up to Reader and Dragar thanks you.
And for a second, he doesn't think he killed it either. Like, he thinks you're just turning your back on the monster. But
no,
then,
you didn't. You did not see it. After the arrow went through, I helped finish it off. It was very brilliant. It's hard to see. I could understand. You had the creature on your face.
And Dragar would look at Acton and be like, Dragar thanks Acton too.
Yes.
and he completely buys Alton's line there. He doesn't even
I
fathom it.
have never lied to you, Dragar. Remember, there was definitely no monster down in the hole. Remember?
The Dragar says you lied to the little girl. I'm good.
So yeah, and this room has fallen silent again as this creature has been slain. A couple people have been pretty wounded. What do you guys wish to do?
Val would kind of like shrug, and everyone would notice that he had just drawn his dagger, and then he'd say, "Go find another monster?"
And Dragar would look up and say, Dragar hopes or wishes we would have found something in the house that would heal me or make me feel better.
Well, maybe if the ghosts had let us explore, but now we're down here.
If only I knew a delightful healer lass, but I do not know of any of those.
Just not really knowing what to do, but having scraped himself up a lot exploring before, Reader just grabs a bunch of cloth, wraps around his forearm, takes another cloth and just ties a knot around that, hoping to do anything at all, or at the very least stop bleeding so much.
And nobody other than oh shit. Sorry, nobody other than Val knows about the 2 other scrolls that he has on him other than him, right?
I tossed the scrolls to Reader, I do believe.
But I know that no one can use them, at least from among us.
Fair enough. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go.
It is
I'm ready
kind
to...
of safekeeping.
So yeah, you guys can continue forward. You can short rest. You can try to long rest. It's up to you.
Do you need but a moment to wrap up your wounds, dear buddy?
Dragar could use a few minutes here.
Okay, I will help you make sure it is all. I'll kiss it to make it better. You know how it is.
Not that cold.
So
Do
yeah,
not worry.
you guys are taking a short rest then.
Yes.
I
So
also
yeah,
did
go
will-
ahead.
a
I will
medicine
make all.
check
I
to
will
do
make all of the boo boos better.
anything I could for myself. I don't know how much it actually works.
Val would actually suggest that if they actually needed it, they could possibly rest as long as they wanted, and he would stand watch.
I can stand watch as well. See, this beautiful face could not be harmed by any monster.
What happens with the short rest? How many do I?
You get to roll a hit dice, which is for a barbarian a D
12.
12 plus
12
con.
plus your con modifier,
Alright.
and then you have two of those, so you get one per level, and you only get half of the full amount you get back every long rest. So once you spend that, you need to do a long rest to get the hit dice back.
Okay.
No worry more about the spending than the recovery.
Yeah. I think can I use a? So I only have 11 hit points right now.
Yeah, so a short rest would probably be at least the best idea for you guys. You can try to long rest. I'll tell you right out now that if you long rest in this area, it's not going to be much of a rest for you. That kind of repetitive droning of this chanting is very uncomfortable. You could try to head back upstairs if you want.
Roll a hit die and see where you want to go from there. Perhaps you use the second one. If it does
You can
not
do this. You can do the same reader if you want to roll hit dice.
Yeah, I'll take that and stick with it. I'm good.
Yes.
Nice.
What is
what about-
Reader gonna do? I just gotta figure out what the group's doing, right? I can't do it on my own.
So I will supervise your bandaging and I will watch you as you flex and cover your biceps so perfectly.
During the short rest, you roll as many hit dice as you have, or you just roll
As
one?
many as you wish. If you wish to use another, you may, but you won't have them next time.
Okay.
But if you don't wish to die, you may want to spend extra. Okay.
So do they get half of what they rolled, or do they get full what they rolled?
They get all of that in healing, but on a long rest, they will regain one of those hit die to spend at a later date.
Ew, okay.
So right now, the people who did not rest, we have 2 hit dice to save. Barbarian has 1, and the Reader has none.
0, yeah.
So you're good with that, Dan? You're 12 health. You're not going to roll another one.
No, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm ready to go.
All right. So you guys kind of sit for an hour and bandage yourselves up with the supervision of Alton. Val kind of standing guard, making sure nothing is sneaking up on you. And an hour goes by, and you feel rested enough that your wounds are kind of bandaged up. The bleeding has stopped. You feel well enough to probably continue on. Which way do you want to go now? Kind of reinstating the directions you can go. You can go back to the east where you guys came from and take the long passageway and then go left down the stairways. You can go north from the dining room, which leads down another stairway, which is like a 5-foot stairway, which leads to a hallway and a couple more stairs going in different directions. And then to the west, downwards, there's another little kind of tuck away hallway that leads into another intersection of 4 different choices of places to go.
Val, Dragar says Val should choose. He's already checked out.
I don't like the idea of fighting something on the stairs.
So then you can go, if you're wanting to avoid stairs, westward is probably the...
So Val would point to the west and say, we can go this way unless someone wants to fight on the stairs.
I do not care. I will kill it everywhere.
Dragar will start walking towards the west hallway.
All right, so you walk to the west hallway, and as you come into it, you're forced to go right, and then as you head, there's another opening which leads into a crossroad of 4 different places, 4 different areas to go. Obviously, the way you came, and then a direction to the north, a direction to the west, and a direction to the east. As you kind of approach the center of the crossroad, the chanting becomes much louder as it seems like it's coming from the west, and north, sorry. And as you look to the north, you see a stairway going down. You could probably make the connection that the stairway going down also connects to the hallway that Val scene where the northward hallway. So there's like a stairway going down there, and then a hallway going upwards back towards the north stairway. But then there's also another stairway descending back up, opposing that stairway, and then obviously two more hallways going west and south. As you stand in the middle of this intersection, though, Dragar, you see a shadow appear in front of you down this dark hallway. You can't make out what it is. Its shadowy form is too dark. As you look to the west, you see another one appear behind it. And then quickly, as you kind of survey to your left, southward, you see another shadow figure appear in the front of that. And roll initiative, as these shadow creatures have just kind of appeared in front of you.
We should clear the initiative tracker, and then we will roll.
Yeah, I'll clear it right now.
So Dragar would look up and he said, Dragar has seen things. Everybody get ready.
Sorry, I just cleared your initiative. Reader, roll it again, and I'll enter in 11. All right, and
You can change mine to an 8. I rolled an 8.
let's see. I'm gonna go back to the area that you guys are.
Alton is slowest for sure.
And you guys are met by...
You could put me at the bottom.
Yeah, I will in a second.
We are dead. Farewell.
And I'll pull up their initiative.
Oh, that is a lot of creeping death, apparently. Farewell.
Probably tells you what it is again, doesn't it? Oh, well.
Yep. Shadow. But I mean, that's what you called it, right?
Yeah.
That is kind of what life is.
All right, Val, you're able to see this going down before any of them move, and you see Dragar in the center of this intersection, and then these shadows start appearing in the hallways to his south and west, or not west, sorry, east.
So Val is going to... Can I hold an action?
What action are you going to hold?
Actually, wait. If I hold an action, I don't get my bonus. So...
Perhaps you can ready an action to attack when our allies are helping you.
That was what I was going to hold, but I think what Val is actually going to do is in the west hallway, he's going to not sprint, but he's going to move forward and make an attack with both the weapons he's drawn.
Alright, one definitely a hit, and let me get back to the character sheet. I believe they're both hits. No, the second one is not a hit. The dagger misses.
So, hitting with, and this is definitely not a sneak, I'm guessing, because they kind of surprised us.
Yeah.
And that is for the... Yeah, that's definitely for the sword, not the dagger, even though that's what it looks like.
It is 8 for sure.
Yep.
So
yeah, you come dashing forward and cut into this shadowy apparition, and you just essentially cut it right in half, dispersing its entire torso. But then this kind of like shadowy, almost sand-like, fills back in the void that you just cut, as it still is standing. And it's really hard to tell if you really injured it at all, but it lets out a shriek at you nonetheless. And at this point, they all seem to be moving. But go ahead and do your bonus.
Yeah, using bonus action to disengage, I'm going to move back as far... Well, I'm going to try to get behind Dragar if I
I
can.
must inform you, though, you cannot disengage if you use...
Yeah,
your
dagger was your bonus action?
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
well then I'm going to stay there.
Yep.
I will always remember your sacrifice.
Yep.
Let me just position these so I don't lose track.
I will tell many a tale of the foolhardy assassin.
Alright, so first up is the one to the... I keep on forgetting what side they are, but to the left of Dragar, and it's going to just dash forward from around a corner that you didn't see. And oh no, that's not the one. Sorry, the one that's immediately to your left is going to spring forward, and it does some shit. Let me just read this before I actually roll it. I don't know if I want to roll it to you guys or not. The targets. Yeah, I probably shouldn't tell you all this does, so I'm just going to do a flat roll. Roll 1d20 plus. For a 12, does that hit you? No way, Dragar?
No.
Yeah, and it kind of just like starts giving this like shadowy, like almost aura from its hands as it engulfs you, but you're able to like shake it off, and then you're up.
At this point, I would take my warhammer. And it's like a shadowy apparition.
Yes.
I would swing as hard as I could from right to left, and Dragar hates shadows, and he would just swing his hammer and one-handed.
Yep.
Give me a second. Am I still in rage? Or, like, how long does rage last? Only 60 seconds, so I don't think I'm still in rage.
Rage ends if you do not make an attack for 1 round, so it
Okay.
is definitely
Yeah, so-
over. And you might get them back though as on the short rest. But I don't know if that is.
I don't know if that hits.
That does hit. As you hit it, though, it kind of does the exact same thing that Val's attack does. You disperse it for a second, and then it quickly reassembles itself. And that's bludgeoning damage. Let me just check real quick. Yeah. So yeah, it's really hard to gauge how much damage you're doing to these things, but nonetheless, you did seem like you hit it and felt some resistance as you did hit it.
Yeah, at that point, I think I'm done. So.
All right. Now, the shadow from the in front of you guys, the one behind the shadow that Val just attacked, is gonna. What is it gonna do?
It's going to attack Val and defend his ally.
Yeah, it's gonna attack Val for sure, but how is it gonna attack Val? Well, it can.
Val will dodge because he is a very, very fast boy.
So, it is essentially going to. Let me see. It like disappears for a second, and Val, you like see it move forward, and it just like kind of fades into like the wall almost. But at the last second, you realize that it's kind of just like slid itself into a wall, much like a shadow would, running itself along the wall, and then it kind of appears right beside you, lunging out from the wall. It was trying to sneak up on you, but you're able to catch it at the last second, and then again, it's going to attack you much in the same way that it attacked Dragar. Just this weird kind of aura coming from it. Imagine like a Dementor from Harry Potter, just kind of like almost sucking life from you or something. And
Critical hit.
That is not good for me.
I will tell everyone the tale of your story.
it is really not good for you. God.
I'm not super familiar with shadows, but that is not a very good thing.
That is
I think
horrible.
you might become a shadow. No.
That's a grand total of a whole lot of damage. Let me just calculate in my head here. 24 damage.
24.
What is your max hit points? I'm curious.
My max is 13.
Oh, barely not insta-killed. Barely not insta-killed.
And I would tell you to make a, let me see. Yeah, and it just essentially engulfs you in this kind of aura, and you just see the life almost like sucked out of Val as he just instantly drops to the ground, and it becomes quickly apparent that these creatures are nothing to be toyed with, and they're going to be a deadly adversary. Reader, you're up, and you just seen Val get absolutely wrecked.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was an insta-kill.
No, it has to be double your max health.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm thinking about 3rd edition.
Yeah.
Is there any way that Reader would be able to attempt to identify these things, to think about any properties they might have to give them an advantage in this fight?
Yeah, you can do a what do you reason? Just tell me what
I
you're
was
thinking.
Well, I want to roll Arcana, but I mean, I'll go with whatever ruling you
Yep,
come up with.
that kind of works for me. Makes sense.
I don't know if that's good enough. But.
Yeah, you recognize these creatures actually called shadows. You've read about them in your libraries. They have many resistances, most of them resistant to most normal weapon attacks that isn't non-magical. You can also remember that it has some resistances to certain elements. You can't remember what, though, fully. You just know it does. You know it's immune to necrotic, and it is vulnerable, has a weakness to radiant damage.
Oh. So I must simply bare my chest and they will fall before me.
And then you can still do I'll let you still do an action.
Just going on a lark, seeing that it was able to just slide around the room freely while we're in the dark, he just quickly unstraps his pack, drops it to the ground, rips it open, and digs through, pulls out a torch, and if you'll allow me, he lights it. But if that's too many moves, then I'll just be working on lighting it.
I think that's all within the realm of one move. Like technically no, but I don't really like saying that like doing an Arcana check or some kind of skill check is a full action.
So now he's brandishing a torch to try to light up the room, so we have a little bubble of light, so these things aren't just like zipping around between us anymore. Well, that's his hope anyway.
Yeah, and exactly. You're able to do so. You also remember, I didn't tell you, but from reading, you know that they're very easily able to use shadows to their advantage, and with no light, they can basically just slip away like they did to Val and very easily sneak up on you, making it that much easier for them to attack. Lighting this torch has definitely stopped them from doing that, as there's no way for their shadows. They basically just have to take their solid form and march forward and try to fight you in the light. So good job on doing that. Alton, you're up.
Alton, having seen his boy go down in a mighty blaze of glory, he would feel sad for him. That was his dream, to lay him low, but perhaps he can save that for another day. As he charges, standing above the boy's corpse, and he says, Crusher, I'll do this for you. As he opens his hand, places it towards the creatures, and the magnificent brilliance of light bursts from his hand as he casts burning hands, dousing the ghosts creatures in fire. They must make a dexterity save, lest they be burned.
And that's two of them that are going to make it. So
Yes.
first one, 21.
Oh, I do not
And
approve.
the second one is an 8. Full
Okay.
damage.
Well, the damage that they take, regardless, the one, let's see here. Okay, the one who failed takes 12, and the one who passed takes 6. As I just unload this fire upon them.
Yeah,
attempting
and
to
as
burn
you
away.
do so, who am I trying to think of? Sorry. Reader, you're able to realize, kind of like starting to think of your study, that it becomes quickly apparent that the fire, although it kind of put them at bay a bit, is one of their resistances. So it's not hurting it as much as they should, but he did hurt them nonetheless. But you can relay that information to the group that you definitely know that they're resistant to melee weapons, essentially all of them, and at least fire for now. But it was a good blast from Alton nonetheless, and it did a considerable amount of damage. So let me do that. 6 and 12.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, the day I learn another type of attack, perhaps I will put it to use.
Chris, I have a quick question.
What you got, my
Just
friend?
about the damage I took. I take it the damage they roll is 2d6 plus 2,
Yes.
and you get your roll plus the maximum.
Yes.
Then shouldn't I have taken 23 instead of 24? I hate being nitpicky, I'm just asking.
Sorry, you're probably right. If I might have added up, I apologize if I did. Let me see, 12, 14, and then yeah, you're right. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to cheese you.
It's fine, I was just like
Good
wondering
catch.
about it.
Yeah,
It
no.
is varying degrees of absolute ownage and carnage, but yes.
Yeah. Good catch. Thank you for catching that. With that, Alton is done, and the shadows are going to begin their assault again. The one from the kind of left of Dragar, where I believe someone was fighting them, but I can't remember who, is going to lunge forward nonetheless. And Alton, they're going to come for you this time.
Okay.
Seeing you cast that blast of fire on its shadowy friend.
I would believe that two would definitely go for me since I am fighting two. The other two maybe for my friends.
Yep.
Yes.
Sounds
Okay.
rather fair to me. I don't know if these guys play fair, but we'll see what they do.
Oh, do not worry, I do not play fair either.
18 to hit.
The shadowy creature, he lunges for Alton, and his awkward defenses clearly open as he claws at my beautiful bare chest. But at the last possible moment, his attack is deflected away as a vibrant shield of my life force blocks the attack.
Very nice, and yeah, it just kind of sets this like Death Eater like aura around you, and as it's starting to like kind of exhume around you, you cast the shield at the last second, forcing back the attack. It lets out like a howl of like anger.
Better luck next time.
And then up next is this guy who, let me see, is the one that's in front of Dragar essentially, and it's going to charge forward and see what it can do to you, Dragar. 12, that's a miss. Hey, I missed, guys. Woo!
Well, that's twice you've missed Drager.
I'm taking it.
Val, as you're sitting on the ground, lifeless, your soul just potentially getting ripped from its body. Do a death save. Success. Nice job. The shadow from the other hallway, which is now... And Reader, you're still kind of like tucked away behind everybody, so they can't really get to you. So that unfortunately leaves the other one going for you again, Alton.
Oh, that is why I'm here.
16 to hit.
That is not going to hit. The shield is still active until my turn starts, so it bounces off my magnificence.
And Dragar, you're back up.
Alright, so seeing these things materializing kind of in front of me and believing that at least my hammer will have a little bit more effect, I rage out massively. All of a sudden, everything on my body is just red. My tattoos are glowing. I am so pissed off that Val's on the ground that I grasp my warhammer in both hands and I come down with absolutely everything I have on the very first one right in front of me.
Perfect. And rage doesn't give you like magic damage or anything, right? It still just gives you normal damage.
Yeah, just normal. I don't believe it has said anything about magic
Just
damage.
+2 physical damage.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and do so. You still have inspiration, might I remind you.
I'm gonna use it.
All right, roll again. You
Thank
still
you.
keep the damage that you did. Nice. This time hitting, you rolled the exact same damage anyways. That's really strange. And describe what it looks like as you kill this thing. I know it's probably going to be weird to describe, but go ahead.
As I crunch down on the first one in front of me, it kind of starts just breaking down, almost disintegrating into like a very fine dust that melts away kind of into the floor and almost spreads itself to the edges of the room, and just kind of the shadows basically just vacuum it back up.
Nice. Nicely done. Anything else you'd like to do? Or that's pretty much it, eh?
Yeah, that'd be. I just look around at that point, and I don't move or anything like that. I'm standing there proud and just enraged and on fire.
Yeah, and the one directly behind him that I believe is the one that knocked Val down, it's going to charge forward at you, being the only one that you can reach. And 13 to hit is a miss.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Good job. Reader, you're up. And you've seen your friend Dragar vanquish one of these shadows, and Alton putting up a very good magical defense on the other side. What do you wish to do?
So there's one engaged with Dragar right now.
And two engaged with Alton.
Okay, running up beside Dragar, and while drawing his short sword, Reader attempts just to plunge the sword into the thing, hoping for the best.
All right, go ahead. Definitely a hit. You get your sneak attack. So a grand total of 6 damage.
And could I, like offhand, swing the torch as a club?
Yeah, that's an improvised weapon. So I forget how improvised weapons work. Is it just
It would be the
D4?
same, but no proficiency bonus.
Okay.
So it'd be +3 to hit, but you could just subtract 2 from your roll.
Just like roll d20 plus.
+3.
No, for club isn't finesse. It's +1 for me.
Oh, even better.
Still a hit. Go ahead and do. I believe it's a D4 damage with the improvised weapon.
+1 for fire.
Yep. Sure. +1 for fireworks for me. Nice. So a grand total of 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Again, you know that it's met with some resistance, but you're at least whittling this thing down. As it's kind of like phasing in and out of this plane, it looks like it's the equivalent of bloodied for a ghost. And next up is Alton.
Yes, is one of these shadows in front of me badly injured? I lit one aflame, and Val hit one before he was vanquished thoroughly.
The ones that I thought you hit are the ones that are in combat with Dragar. I apologize if I mixed those up, but that's who I marked as injured.
Alright, because Val hit one and I hit two, but how badly injured are they, the ones in front of me?
The ones in front of you, one is hit, the other one is at full health. The ones that you fire blasted for me were the ones that are fighting Dragar, so they're already one's obviously dead from the flame attack essentially, and then the other is badly injured.
You must be careful with this. I am fighting full health creatures because of this malfunction.
But Dragar is fighting really injured creatures.
Yes, but I am fighting full ones by myself.
But you're
I
so
don't
awesome
agree
and
with
magnificent.
this. I am magnificent, but I only have so much magnificence. Yes, I will simply. I know that I must last. You know, I must have the endurance, if you will.
Yeah.
And I will attempt to cut up these creatures because apparently my fire damage is just about as efficient as my sword damage.
All right, go ahead.
I will attack them. I will slash at them wildly. That is a hit, yes.
Yes.
That is. That offhand is also a hit for a total of 10 damage as I cut across the ghost twice.
Very nice. And yeah, you disperse him much in the same fashion that it's been doing, but it materializes back.
I'm growing tired of these games, Ghost.
Yes, and it's going to attack back at you now. Oops, I almost did the wrong thing. Roll. Stop it. D20 plus 4. Oh.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, goodbye, Alton, to the same attack that hit me.
Fantastic.
I don't even take any pleasure in this.
It's their black drow souls that cause them to be
stupid. That's not so bad. 12, 18 damage.
If only I had 18 health. As I fall to one knee, I grasp at my heart and I say, "Oh, Dragar, I'm so sorry." As I fall to the ground, unconscious.
All right, not looking good for you guys. The dead one is up, luckily though. Val, you have to make another save.
Another success.
Very nice.
So Val's grip on his sword just slowly tightens, but that's really all that happens.
And then this guy is going to move forward and attack Dragar. A miss, Dragar, and you are up. You see your friend go down, and you see that already Val is down. It's 2 versus 3 at this point. You know that at least all of them are injured, but only one seems pretty injured.
That's the one right in front of me, right?
Yeah, it's up to you what you want to do. It's looking like, you know, it'd be kind of grim, but I guess all hope's not lost. But
is there any way for me to disengage the creature in front of me and engage a creature that was engaged with Acton? Or
I would not recommend that. No.
No, 'cause I could just leave this one for reader.
Yes, it will attack you, and if you disengage, that will cost you your attack.
Okay, yeah, then screw it. I'll just I'll wield my beautiful warhammer, and Dragar will yell, "No, Alton, I wish you were not dead. I will be there 1 second. And I will bring 2 hands down in full fucking bright red rage down on this this little weak creature in front of me.
Do it. It's a hit, and you vanquish that one too, the same way that you just did the other one. A puff of like dusty kind of cloud disperses around the room.
Now you can go rescue me, my love.
Yeah, and then can I move over to the other creatures? I know I can't attack or anything, but I'll...
Yeah, you can move definitely. You can kind of like put yourself in between them and Reedier. Yeah.
That'll end my turn.
Reedier, you're up, and you're questioning. I don't know how experienced of a fighter Reedier is, but he's probably getting the sense that he doesn't know if he's going to make it or not. But nonetheless, Dragar is fighting bravely and fiercely. What does he wish to do as 2 of your companions are on the ground, essentially dead from just one attack? As it seems like these things have the ability to kill you in one attack.
The only thing that's keeping him from trying to run out of the room is this raging dwarf smashing things with his hammer. So he runs up to stay close to Dragar. Does that put me in range of one of the other ones?
Yeah, you can absolutely be in range with the front one, which is the most injured. Or essentially either one. You can. They're both around the same amount of injured, but the one in the front is more injured. And that is a hit. 11. Very nice. Let me see here. And that thing looks like it's also like bloodied and on the fringe of not being on this plane. It seems like you've almost injured
it.
it.
If I can, I'll give a swing with my with the torch as well, knowing that it does almost nothing, but just trying to get out of this is in pure desperation.
Go ahead.
And just kind of flailing it at the thing, just hoping to keep it back.
Yeah, and you don't. You just push it back. You don't actually hit. I'm assuming you don't want to use inspiration on that.
Not talking offhand, no.
It is going to attack at Dragar, who is in this rage, kind of holding the front line, though. 12. No, I'm rolling.
Nope.
Val, the last death save. Can you do it?
Well, seeing as you have crit twice and failed to hit Dragar even once, probably
Can be stabilized, yes.
Okay, so yes.
You're stabilized. Good job. This one is.
That
Go
means
ahead.
I have 1 hit point, right?
Yeah, but you're unconscious
means-
for
Yeah.
1d4 hours, so I'll roll it for you. 1d4 hours. Unconscious for 3 hours. This one is going to, again, I guess, attack at you, Dan. I'm sorry that you're the brunt of all these attacks, but you seem to be doing well enough, so...
20. Oh,
Ooh,
that is not good.
no.
What
And,
kind of damage is that? That doesn't sound good.
No, it's not. It's not the best. I'll roll it straight up, too. Alright, cross your fingers, hope to die. 5 damage.
That would have been good if it happened to me.
And it is necrotic damage.
I only take half of that though, right? Because I'm still enriched.
No.
Necrotic damage doesn't. It's only physical damage.
Okay.
Good try though. And oh god. Oof. This is the first time that someone hasn't died from these. So, as it kind of engulfs you in this life-sucking essence, you feel. Oh my god. You feel really weak as 4 of your strength is taken away. So on your character sheet, remember what your total strength is, but for now, you have 4 less strength.
Really? So that screws up with my modifier and everything then, right?
Yeah, but if
Just
you
attack
if
two.
you change on your sheet, it shouldn't matter. Like it'll change everything for you, and then once you change it back to normal, it'll go back to normal also. So
Okay.
just change your strength for now, and remember what your max number is. You're back up again, apparently. The initiative is going much quicker now as you're back up, and this thing just sucks away a portion of your strength. You feel very weak, and for a second you almost like drop the hammer, but realizing the kind of importance of this fight, life or death, you gain your composure, wielding the hammer with strength again, still being in a rage. See if you can finish this one guy off.
I'm engaged with both creatures right now, or just the one creature?
Yeah,
Oh.
both creatures. The one in your immediate front is really injured.
Okay. So can I Can I attack the other one?
Yeah, you could.
Alright, so yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm still enraged like a madman, so I'm gonna dual wield my Warhammer again and come again straight down on the one that Reader hasn't already bloodied.
Okay.
Damn it. I
Okay.
don't have inspiration.
But as you strike, you hear Alton's words in your mind, and he says, please don't let me die," as he gives you his inspiration, allowing you to roll again.
I gotta take it. I gotta do my best. No!
You don't want me to live, I understand.
Alton, Dragon loves Alton, no!
Dude, you're up.
All right, taking another strike at the one he'd already managed to plunge his sword into.
Yep. And you hit. Total of, was that
12.
12 damage? That's enough to kill this one, and it disperses in the exact same way the other ones have been. You can also offhand with the to the other one that's close enough that Jagar tried to hit but missed.
Oh, that is not good.
Same as before, really just kind of extending the torch toward it, so it's not coming across even as an attack at all.
And yeah, as that happens with a nat 1, it actually almost flies out of your hand. Do a dex save or a dex save to see if you keep it in your hand. You do. It like almost falls out of your hand, but at the last second you kind of do like a double take and are able to catch it, almost losing your light source, which is stopping these things from like stealth attacking you. Alton made his save, very nice. The dead one is up. Val is already conscious but can't really do anything. And then the last living one is going to, again, try to attack you, Dragar. Oh, I just straight up did it. Oops. Oh well. You guys see now anyways. 9 damage. And does it do it again?
Yeah.
It does it again. Oh
It
god.
does.
1d4.
You have lots of strength.
And you lose 3 more strength.
Okay.
You're almost at Alton strength now.
Hey, Chris, I have another question.
What do you got?
So this says if a target dies, are you taking dies as in actually kills them, or as
It says
knocks them
Dies
out?
if it's reduced strength. I think it only
No,
if it
your
is
strength is
Reduced
0.
strength.
Yeah, so if it takes Dan's or Dragar's strength to 0, then Dragar also dies, as he feels like he's getting very weak from like this thing's aura, basically sucking his soul from him. You're up, Dragar, and it's like just you and him and Reedy are now, and this thing's like draining your soul, and the hammer's getting hard to hold. You're
Yeah,
sweating profusely, but still in a rage.
Yeah, feeling a little bit weaker. And like my hammer's a little bit heavier. I'm still holding it with 2 hands. Everything on me is just still pitch red. I'm just still flushed, and my tattoos are just like, they've almost turned a tinge of purple at this point. And I just try to drain the hammer right straight down on the head of the materialized shadow again.
All right, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
3 damage.
Well, my strength is.
To be fair, it is 5 when you add in your rage. Your primal fury.
So
What was
anyway,
the total damage?
is that 5?
5 damage total.
I think.
Yeah, you obviously you're feeling the burden of this thing taking your strength from you. You're able to hit it, but it's not doing obviously as much damage as you should. Reedy, you see this going on, and you don't know how much more Dragar can take this. What do you want to do?
Drawing, he's still drawing a lot of confidence, so I'm definitely using inspiration on that. And he stands side by side with Dragar and just goes for it, just attacking all out against this thing, hoping to get rid of it as soon as he can.
Nice.
Very
11,
nice.
11 damage.
And make an attack with your flame just to see how much damage you do total. Nice. Go ahead and roll the damage. Grand total of what's the grand total? 6 plus 11 plus 2, 13 plus 4.
15 total.
15 total. Go ahead And describe what it looks like as you kill this thing, as it's almost sucking the entire life from Dragar. You dash in with your short sword and describe what it looks like.
So Dragar's hammer impacts it, and just following, like slipping in before the thing is able to rematerialize, he swings his sword through, not really feeling any resistance, but preventing it from coming together, and then just pushing the light of the torch forward, causing the thing to disperse like, a bunch of just black soot and smoke.
Yeah, and you guys survive this attack again narrowly. You look to the floor. Alton still looks like he needs some medical attention. You guys can try to do the save for him unless he wants to do it himself.
I am a big boy. I will roll it. Oh, but I am one on the fatal chart today.
Does the healer's kit that he has give any bonuses, or that's
Instantly
only
stabilizes them. If you use one, it instantly stabilizes them with no check.
Okay. In that case, knowing that he's no doctor, but knowing that Alton has this kit, he will dig through his things to find it as quickly as possible and apply whatever medicines there are on the two of them.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Val's already conscious. He's just
okay.
Or not conscious, but he's unconscious.
Breathing
Alton,
normally,
you're
but
able
not
to
up,
stabilize. Yeah, you're able to stabilize him, and yeah, we'll roll to see. Wait, that brings you back to consciousness, right, Alton?
It stabilizes me, so
Yeah. I believe it.
hours,
I believe it brings you.
And Dragar's breathing heavy.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to do? Alton comes to consciousness. You can actually wake up Val too.
Val needs 3 hours, right?
Yeah, or you can. I'll say you wake him up.
Okay. I was gonna say we could always use those 3 hours to take a short rest. The necrotic damage. I was supposed to take that, right?
Yeah, you can do that actually too. You can take a short rest. And then let me read this thing. How long does the strength last for? It reduces your strength to 0. Am I gonna actually have to pull up the sheet itself?
My guess would be until you take a long rest.
Short rest, shorter finish, shorter long. It says. Yeah. So yeah, you're feeling really exhausted, Dragar, and a short rest is probably necessary if you guys want to continue anyways.
So.
This is a group plan of that though. Like I gotta.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with short.
Feeling, perhaps a bit tired. I feel like I got my head ripped off, but put back on the long.
Yeah. I know we can't take a long rest, right?
Val would groggily look over at Alton and just kind of. He's trying to hit him, but it'd be more like poking him, and he's like, "That's the last time I use your fighting strategy."
Oh no, he didn't dodge any attacks at all. It was very sad. I dodged too. But then I thought of you, and I felt it was appropriate to join you on the ground, so that you were not lonely.
I don't know. I might rather be lonely than one less of us would be hurt.
Dragar would finally calm down and just thank Reader for Dragar thanks Reader for saving Dragar. Dragar almost bit to dust.
And realizing that he's been in the middle, he was just right in the middle of a pitched battle. All of a sudden, the fear hits him all at once. You see him just break out into horrible cold sweats. He's trying to say you're welcome, but he can't even speak.
But perhaps for Reader's sake, we should go back up to the house and our comfy little library and rest a while.
Agreed.
I will roll my hit dice if that is what we are doing.
They're saying they want a long rest. They want to go back upstairs and long rest.
I am not opposed. I don't know if we're in a time crunch. If not, I don't mind.
Can I still pick up Alton and can I just do I have enough rage or strength left in me to just pick Alton and Val up and carry them upstairs back up into the library?
Val can definitely walk himself as
I would do it anyway. I think my character would just be like, oh, boom.
What's your strength? What's your strength at right now?
It's 11.
Probably not pick up 2 people at that point.
Okay.
Let Val walk.
Yeah, I'd stumble with pain, but I would I'd grab Alton and Val would hopefully at least put his hand on my shoulder and walk beside him.
Perhaps the life of an adventurer is overrated.
So yeah, you guys are heading back upstairs then?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're able to do so, luckily enough for you guys. And is it to the library or?
I mean, that's what Val suggested.
Yeah, I would go there then.
Okay. And yeah, you guys are able to. Do you want to do anything before your long rest, or I guess you should set up a watch?
Yes, I would like to make a pillow out of all of the books because that is all books are good for.
Dragar will take first watch. Readers sleep. Everyone sleep.
I will take second watch, as I only need 4 hours.
All right. And you guys are able to rest through the night or day. You don't even really know, but you take a long rest nonetheless, and are able to do so successfully without any trouble. It seems like for whatever reason, the house does plan to keep you in here, but it's not like a non. It almost is like you get this feeling that it just knows it's going to overcome you, whether it throws things at you or not. It's going to let you explore this house how you want, and it kind of gives you that like chilling spine because like you have this feeling that there's obviously a lot more left in this, but for some reason it doesn't come after you. It's almost like egging you on, like go ahead, rest, and come back. Not going to help.
Dragar sleeps. Feel very strong now. You guys ready to go? Basement destroy.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. And then Val would once again look over at Alton and say, "It was nice that you came to my rescue, supposedly, but your fighting style is for you, sorcerer."
I don't think you were very familiar with what happened. You were sleeping the whole time. I actually slayed 10 shadows, but the 11th one was too powerful for me.
Val would look over to Reader or Dragar and say, "Did he really?" Like, in a mocking voice.
Did you not see me engulf an entire column in fire?
Dragar would speak up and still be laughing in a boisterous belly laugh and say, Alton fought like champion. The Reader fought like champion. Val fought like champion. We live. Let's fight again.
Yes, but how many did he actually kill?
Val, why do you have to be so petty? Can't you just believe your companion? Why would he ever lie to you?
Because you're a natural-born liar.
I have never lied in my life. What are you talking
Dragar
about?
say, let's go.
Once again, your silver tongue is wagging. I know you lied to Dragar.
Dragar would have a whole new respect for Reader after the whole fight, and he would be like, come on, Reader, let's go.
Yeah, and what is Reader doing as everyone's bickering and stuff?
And when he addresses him, Reader just kind of responds that the Underdark is famed for its male warriors as its female priests, but Val would notice noticed that there was no number added of how many he defeated in a very just diplomatic response.
Perfect. You all can have inspiration. Everyone's role playing really good tonight, so.
Oh, come on. I already have it, and I was all ready to give it to Reader, but no, he had his own.
That's your guys' fault for not burning it instead of dying.
I burned it, but
Hey,
my dearest companion did not feel my sacrifice was enough.
Dragar wasted possible burn, maybe.
Alright, so back down to the basement you guys go. Are we going back to where the shadows attacked and just continuing forward? I know it's kind of confusing.
Yes, I would like to hide though. I don't want to be snuck upon.
Yeah.
Dragar would like to walk in, though.
If Dragar walks in, Reader will light another torch. He'll allow the drow to kind of go where they want to go before lighting up the area, and then he would light up that torch and follow Dragar just to make sure they don't get swallowed up as soon as they step into that room.
Alright, so Val stealths very quietly. Alton.
He is professional. Come on. 9. See, I'm like the wind.
Val just
Blowing very hard.
Val just hangs his head at Alton and says, "Obviously, one drow is superior to another in different forms of art."
Yes, I'm I am superior in actual art, and you are superior in the art of falling down.
Val aims a friendly sword strike at, like, not even attempting to hit at Alton, and he's like, "You stay back here."
Oh, you're so brave. Lead the way.
And which way does Val want to go then if he's leading the way? You can
Val
remember
wants to check the West Hall.
the West Hall. Okay, so you going down the West Hall, it branches off to the right, and then again back it opens up to a. And that wasn't even really. It opens up into a room with a table in the middle, a chandelier suspended above it. There's two high-backed chairs that flank the table on each side. It also has a clay jug and some clay flagons atop of it, an iron candlestick in the two corners. Their candles actually melted away long ago, and in this room there is what seems like a door to the right and then an opening to the left.
Okay, real quick, just because I've had it with being lost. Do you mind repeating what we have found?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I know it's. I'm not
This
very
is
good.
not. This is not a dungeon for theater in of the mind.
Yeah, hold on a second.
I must admit.
I'm gonna pull up Fog of War and fix this for you guys. It's kind of confusing.
Oh, thank you. I was actually about to go and draw it, so...
Yeah, no, it's fine. I have the map here. It just kind of gives away the secret doors. So if I'm not fully showing something and stuff like that, it's for a reason. But this should at least clear it up for you guys a bit.
Yeah, no, because I'm so lost.
Yeah, I know. I don't really know how to like describe this better for Theater of the Mind. Like, how would you even go about it? Like, there's so many corridors and stuff.
It's a labyrinth.
Yeah, so let me see. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm just showing, getting rid of all the Fog of War where it should be gone.
By the way, how long is everyone planning on playing? I just noticed that it was 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm still good to go, but obviously if people have...
I'm having a blast. I'm ready to go.
I'm fine for as long as you guys are. I just have to be gone at 7.
Yeah, look, it's up to everybody. Are we wanting to call it quits soon?
I got at least another hour and a half in me.
Yeah.
I got quite a bit.
Joe and Pat?
I'm still good to go. 'Cause I'm not working tomorrow, so however long it runs is how long it runs.
Yeah, I imagine like no more than an hour. We'll call it quits at 3. I need to wake up with my daughter and stuff tomorrow. But here, I'm going to pull you guys to the map, and let me make sure I'm not giving away anything that I should. Okay, this should help. This should help you guys quite a bit. And I will pull you to up to 21. Give me a second. Up to 21 is the staircase where you guys came. So you just see my ping.
Mm-hmm.
22 is where you guys came down, and you guys ventured westward, which is down. So north is left, south is... Here, I'll actually show the compass. That'll help you. Bam. And you guys headed down west, and those X's where the 4-way cross is. That's where the shadows attacked you. And you're now in this room down in the very west kind of area with the table and 2 chairs flanking. And then to the north is a hallway. And to the south is a door along the bottom corner, the bottom right corner.
You know what I would do with a map like this? I would rotate it 90 degrees.
Yeah.
That way it's very easy to read.
Yeah, there's a... This is more than just the map, though. It's also the map for the house.
You guys aren't map readers? Come on, this is easy.
I don't like reading at 90. I have 8 intelligence, okay?
So you guys are now down in this west area with the table. What do you guys do?
Oh wait, I know I stealthed
Oh
there.
yeah, sorry, you stealth there. Everyone else is back at the kind of crossroad.
I stealthed pretty far as well.
I scowled at you and basically told you not to, but whatever.
But, you know, sometimes I don't listen to the youngsters.
Reader kind of softly says to Dragar, a little bit absent-mindedly, that I've read that Drow and the Underdark are like this all the time, but normally it's the females vying for superiority.
Dragar would just look at Reader and be like, I don't know, man. It's just too much sometimes. It's funny, but whatever.
If you ever make a comment like that where I can hear it, Val would gladly explain why there's probably a conflict here.
It is because I am the superior and he is the underling.
We won't do that right now. It's okay.
I am the matriarch and he is
we will. We understand. Don't worry. It's okay.
No, it's because you were raised in that weird society. I was raised in the overworld.
You were raised in the cage, I know.
Me and Reader are inspecting the room where we killed the shadows, and we're looking for any remnants or ideas of what might have that have been.
Yeah, I'm going to
Shotgun
inspect
or
this
something.
north hallway.
Okay.
Let me choose a unique color since
He's
mine
very
looks...
familiar with caves, and I'm very
And this room contains a large wooden frame bed with a rotting feathered mattress and a wardrobe containing several old robes. Kind of just the wardrobes open and you can see them flowing there. There's a pair of iron candlesticks sitting on an open crate, and at the foot of the bed, it seems like there's some kind of wooden footlocker. And I will reveal that, I guess. I won't always be able to reveal the rooms, but this one I can.
And that's where Val is right now?
Yeah, I'm imagining he, or has he went all the way in, or?
I'm probably standing right about there.
Yeah.
So Val would... Ooh, what would he do? Val is going to very quietly walk up to this footlocker and using his sword try to just quietly open this locker.
Okay, the footlocker is not locked, and as you open it, you see a folded cloak, a small wooden coffer, and it contains, it's closed right now actually. It looks like some kind of flask of something, a lantern, and a set of thieves' tools, and also a book with yellow leather. As you're studying all this, though, you're felt with the feeling that something else is in the room with you. As you turn around from the wall, two specters appear out in these black robes, one from the north wall and one from the east, directly behind you at the footlocker.
Do they do see me?
Oh yeah.
I am stealthed, I do know that, but...
Yeah.
I'm sure you're very stealth as you open the locker.
Yeah, they definitely see you.
Okay.
And I'll pull your character sheets on here. I guess for now, you guys can all roll initiative, but since he's sneaking by himself, no one would really know this is going on. But I'm assuming
Are we dragging tokens onto the field?
should be on the field already. You can.
They are?
Yeah, they're up in the hallway
There
now.
they are.
Yeah, here, I'm just gonna actually clear a area so that we can. There, no, that's not gonna work.
We can perhaps shrink them to be tile sized.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. Let's do that. But the map's not gridded. I wasn't prepared to actually run this on a gridded map, but let's do that anyways. Blah blah. I'll shrink you.
And shrink them even more.
Shrink you. Shrink you.
Even more.
So, seeing these specters, I would, if I have the chance, I would cry out that I could use some help again.
Oh, Daddy is coming! Don't worry!
Can we hear him?
You can give a perception. You're pretty far away. Oh god, I made you big again.
I think Alton was a bit closer than the other.
Yeah, Alton easily hears him. So yeah, this is not gridded, so in order to move space to space, you're gonna have to hold Alt, but don't really worry about it. It's more combat's still gonna be theater of the mind. And I'm gonna drag these guys onto the old board.
Alton is ready to save you, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be greeted so warmly.
But aren't I always greeted warmly?
We're gonna pull this on the board. Forgot to do this part. Give me 1 second, guys. Apologize.
I'll be right back. If
Yep.
it gets to me, just will come back to me when I'm back.
Yep, that's fine. And I'll do this. Pull that open. Move that over.
Although it is kind of a shame that Roland couldn't join.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen any word from him.
I don't know what the hell. I guess you were right all along.
Yes,
Uh,
I
so
made the assertion that he was a dirty devil, and he proved me correct.
whatever. Though he might have had reasons. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
I give people the benefit of the doubt perhaps once, maybe. I don't know about twice.
And moving him on the board, I'm going to show you guys really quick and just make him bigger. Shift. That's what you guys see.
He is very creepy looking.
How's
And,
that? Val staring 2 of those down.
And they just like materialize out of the wall.
It is okay, Val. He is very, very good at feigning death. That is
And I'm
what he did
gonna
last encounter.
I'm gonna hide the initiative this time so that you guys can't see what they are actually.
Well, I'm sure it's better than mine.
Oh.
And go down here. Blah blah. Keep a little suspense for you. And I will tell you what they rolled. They rolled a 13 and a 10.
What?
Well,
And so Reedier doesn't get to act because he didn't hear the call.
what about it doesn't look like Drager rolled initiative.
Yeah, Dragar, you did just roll a 2. I don't think he,
Had this stuff been selected.
that's fine though. I'll just add you in. I'm just going to call you Drag though, for now. And you rolled a 2.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
And upon hearing this, Alton will cry out, "Oh, the baby has got his hand caught in the cookie jar. I have to come save him."
Yeah, and all of you guys hear that now, so you would know that Val's in danger. And you see Alton's kind of sprint off. 5, 10, 15. The squares are still 5 foot, just so you really know how far you're running.
So probably about here.
Yep.
And then from here, I would look and I would see my dearest buddy fighting the ghost. But it is out of my reach and I don't have a ranged spell. But I have a ranged spell ready for this. As I drop my short sword, and I reach to my belt and I grab up a dagger. As I look to the ghostly creature, I say, "Magic missile!" as I throw the dagger at him, attempting to stab him. And here we go. We'll just make it I don't have a macro for the dagger. I'll just do the crossbow. Fuck it. I don't have a dagger apparently.
All right.
It will still be a magic missile. Uh, 15 to hit.
15 to hit is a hit.
Alright, do you see the crossbow bolt just dunk out of bolt and it lands in him squarely.
It
I thought
does.
this is the most special of places.
It lets out a hissing kind of shriek, just kind of echoing. And now, if anyone didn't know something was going on, everyone does because it echoes throughout the entire chamber, definitely overpowering the chanting that's still been going on, even though you guys took a whole entire rest. Whoever's down there chanting is going hard about it. And that leaves the figure to your left, Val, and it is going to come up to you. And let me just read what this guy has going on. I know it has a couple things going.
Do not worry, I will pick you up when you fall down.
In other words, you're gonna one-hit KO me again.
Well,
it's not his fault that you have 8 constitution.
How'd you know my constitution, huh?
Because you have less hit points than me, and I am a sorcerer.
Okay, yeah, I do. I don't really have 8 hit points. Or not 8 hit points, 8 constitution.
That is not a very good life decision.
It makes sense for my character, though.
It is a lack of life decision.
It is going to roll, and it does a miss as it comes forth with its like kind of gangly claws, just like a bluish kind of yellow. The fingernails look corroded and disgusting. It claws at you, but you're able to like kind of do like this little barrel roll as you're checking this chest, and you roll out of the way. The other one behind you, though, comes up and does the exact same thing.
How rude, even after being impaled by Alton.
And this one hits you for a very staggering 12 damage, and you must take a DC or a Constitution save.
Do not fail it, please. I don't want you to die again.
Constitution save. That is not good.
That sounds like a -1.
And it plunges its claws into your back, Val, and you go to like stand up or do anything, grab your weapon, get away, and you're just struck with this horrible feeling as you're paralyzed and cannot move.
Oh no! Oh, it is nice knowing you, but
you can repeat this saving throw at the end of your turn, but as of now, you're completely paralyzed and cannot move. And it is your turn. And on your turn, you can do nothing but be paralyzed. Do you wish to take your saving throw?
I mean, that's kind of all I can do.
Yeah. Try again.
It should be inspired.
Hey, you break through the paralyzed, but you're still surrounded by these haunting hooded figures, their claws just kind of hanging out. You get a look at their face, though, and they look familiar for whatever reason. You can't put a finger on it because you're in the heat of the battle, but if you take some time, you might be able to figure out who they might be. Next up is
Father?
Dragar. You're up, and you hear some ruckus going on as Alton just booked around the corner.
I think that's really all I can do is I can move to there. And,
you can dash and get forward, or...
If you dash, you can get into melee with one.
How far can I dash?
Double the same movement again, but that's all you can do as an action.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll take it.
Alright. And then just move yourself up.
Technically, my square counts as 2, but that's okay.
And Reed, you're up too, in the same kind of commotion. You see everyone start bolting off.
Would I be able to reach just at least the entrance of the room with a regular move?
How much your movement?
Faster.
30.
35, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can reach to right here. Yeah, the entrance.
Okay. Reader would just run to the entrance, and seeing the craziness in there, just throw the torch onto the bed.
You can't make it that far. You can make it over there.
Yeah, sorry, the entrance of the dining room, not the bedroom.
Okay, if I'll use my cunning action to dash then.
Okay.
Oh yes.
But not get into melee. Just get to where I can see what's happening.
Yep.
And then if I'm not gonna hit anybody with it, just throw the torch onto the bed and then get his bow out.
Nice. So done. And go ahead and make just a straight up dex attack essentially. We'll say that you're proficient in it, so go ahead and just do an attack.
Do not miss your dear buddy on the ground.
I'm not on the ground yet. I'll be there next turn.
You are paralyzed.
You missed the slash, but yeah, I'm sure you know that. There you go, perfect. You huck this torch across the room. It flies over Alton and Dragar's shoulder and right on the bed, and the bed just erupts in flames. The two creatures kind of like make a hissing noise and obviously do not enjoy this. Val also falls backwards as the bed, just being so old and feather-based, it just catches in flames immediately. Bursting, go ahead and make a dex save, actually, as this thing just erupts like crazy. We're going to see, these guys are going to make dex saves too, and see if they get caught on fire.
Just
Critical failure. Come on, I know it's going to happen.
If he fails, I think he is knocked out. Oh, no.
Do I need to make a dex save since I'm in the... Okay.
That definitely looks like a failure to me.
Yeah, failure, and a pass. Roll a d4 of damage.
I think he's at 1 hit point.
Yep, -2, so I'm unconscious again.
Poor Val.
Unintended
Although
consequences.
as this happens, as the fire...
I didn't do it!
As the fire rages this room, I think Val would scream that if he lives, he wants to investigate this chest further.
Okay.
And then he goes down.
Yeah, he does that. This chest looks sweet, guys, and then he's just like engulfed in flames.
And as he says that, Alton would look to Dragar and he'd say, "I think we will find an empty chest, Dragar, because I think he was trying to steal it and not tell us."
Alton, you're up though, and you see poor Val go down again.
And Alton pauses and he's like, I want to go in there. You know, it's very dangerous in there, you know? And he pulls out his crossbow. He still has a doubt. And he'll level a shot upon the same ghost of this guy again.
All right, go ahead.
And that's another hit, 6 damage.
Very nice. Another one plunges into its kind of cloaked figure, landing into whatever kind of skin is underneath this cloak.
And for my interaction, I will hold the crossbow in one hand, and I will pick up one of my 2 short swords that I dropped.
All right. They are up, and now seeing that Val is down and the room is on fire, they have no interest in staying in here, but they do see some targets, some next victims at the front of this door, kind of volleying arrows, and this bearded dwarf, so they're going to head up and say hello to you guys, kind of just almost floating across the room. It appears right in front of you, Dragar, the man who takes all the blows from all the creatures, and it is going to...
Not as many as Val, though.
it bites you for 8 damage. And you get the same feeling that this, as it bites you, you see its face for a second, and it's a woman, but this bluish gray kind of skin, really sharp, jagged teeth, and sunken dark eyes that look really unnatural, but for some reason they still look familiar to you. Go ahead and take that damage.
I did.
And then the next guy is going to run up, and he's going to position himself because you're launching arrows at you, Alton, and he grows really big for some reason.
Oh no, he's so huge. Oh, I wish I could do that.
And he's going to use his claws. And
Do not crit me, please.
21 to hit.
Please stop killing me. Was that the roll? That's the same one he did. The other guy did.
21 to hit, and then you're not shielding it, or you can't shield
no,
it.
I didn't see you. I didn't see the roll made. I thought 21.
I know I GM rolled it because this is a special attack.
Well, I cannot. It is not possible.
13 slashing damage and a con save. I guess I could show you now that you know that it paralyzes you.
It does not feel too good. Oh, please let go. I do not feel very alive anymore. But I passed the con save because I'm a very tough boy.
And you do. You take the damage, but you're able to not whatever toxins are draining from this thing's.
But you can tell that Alton is on the verge of death. Were he a mortal man like his companion, he would definitely be dead.
Val, make another death save.
Oh, failure.
Dragar, you're up.
Alright, Dragar seen Val in the fire and the being bitten, being upset about that. That really upset him. Dragar would just all of a sudden rage again, and because now he enjoys raging. So he's really starting to develop his. He can't wait for later on in life when he can develop his rage more. So he just he looks at the wraith right in front of him, and he picks up his warhammer, and he just. He picks up his warhammer in one hand and he picks up one of his light hammers in the other hand. And I'm not sure if I can do this, but as a bonus, can I use both weapons? I'm not at the level where I can do two attacks yet.
You can only dual wield if both weapons are light.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah, I'll dual wield my warhammer and I'll smack him in the face. Rage down. I do have 2, and I'll figure it out later.
That is a hit for a nice 13 damage. And you do hear some crunching of bones, as this thing is at least not a ghost. For the first time you're actually fighting in a while, something that's actually has a solid form to it. Right. Yep. Nope. No mess. All right, Redio, you're up next. As you see Dragar rage and slam his hammer into the guy in front of him, you see another of these like shadowy figures almost take down Alton in one attack.
If I have an angle on the one fighting Dragar, I'm going to take a shot at that. Oh.
You don't?
I don't think that is going
And
to take
then-
it down.
Drop the bow, draw his sword, and run up to try to support Alton.
All right. That works, eh? Trying to think. I'm gonna just reel it. So sure, you can do that. I don't think
Do what?
I don't know if it's raw, but go for it.
Do what?
Shoot the bow, drop it, and then pull out offhand and then attack.
Oh, he's
No.
not attacking, just running up to be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Since I'm standing side by side with my dearest dwarven associates, I believe that I would be allowed to engage in the fiery hands. Perhaps I could ignite both of these monstrosities and not kill my dwarven ally.
Yep, that's fine, buddy.
And perhaps my unconscious friend might feel a little tickle of warmth upon his back, but nothing
Oh,
too bad.
You mean the one who's currently burning alive, thanks to Reader?
You won't even feel it. You're already in flame, okay? So you both must make a dexterity saving throw.
All right, I will do that.
Oh no,
22.
please. The other one as well.
How do you like crit?
Well,
If
you
you
know
get-
what? They still take 7 damage, even
Alright.
still.
All right. And they both are at.
You know, I really don't like this house.
It's fun. Come
I
on,
think
we're gonna have
Val
fun.
has learned this house.
When I get out of this house, can I retire and go back to living anywhere but here?
And they're back up, and they're gonna presume their assault now. Doesn't even really matter. They're both gonna hurt. Clawing at you, Dragar, for 13. That's a miss, I believe.
Yeah, that is a miss.
Just barely. He kind of like skims through your beard, cutting off a couple hairs. The other one in combat with Alton is going to do a claw attack also.
I am not scared. I'm not scared at all.
And you're able to dodge that too. Val, you're making another dex save as you're like, or death save as you're potentially going to burn alive soon. Oh no!
Do not worry, Val. I'll never forget you.
Dragar, you're back up.
Alright, at this point, they're both still up, right?
Yep.
Alright, yeah, I'll continue to fight the one that I'm already engaged with, and we'll take another swing with my Warhammer 200.
If only I was a paladin who could heal you.
And I'm really upset that he cut some of my hair off. So like, even especially from my beard. So like, my tattoos are starting to glow now.
Yeah, and you land into him and like almost you smash him against the wall. A bit of the clay gives away, and this thing you can just see by the way it gets back up that it has many broken bones and is just bloodied. It's almost standing there contorted, and it is like on the edge of its life. Reedier, you're back up.
If I do a disengage, will I still have to travel through the threat of the other one, or
No,
will I be able to
disengage,
escape both circles?
Because technically we're just doing theater of the mind. I'm going to assume that you guys are in combat with both of them anyways. They're close enough, and you can disengage and just run. It counts for both.
Okay.
I don't know if you can run through them though. They're blocking the hall.
That's true. Yeah. So is the female one completely blocking the entrance to the room?
It's a 4-foot hallway, so
That
Yeah,
sounds narrow.
yeah, it's pretty narrow.
Kill it and then rescue him. Yes.
Yeah, he's on the brink of the female is on the brink of death anyways, so it's up to you if you want to disengage. You can
Okay.
do a acrobatics check if you do want to try to jump through her, or you can attack.
Well, I guess just piggyback once again, just relying on Dragar's strength. Reader just lunges forward with his sword, trying to get rid of one of these horrible things.
A beautiful roll.
and it lets out a shriek as its blue face kind of falls away, and the hood falls away from it, showing this true thing's face, and it's this hideous, like once human-like creature that has like almost blue scaly skin now, and this long, like kind of almost snake-like tongue. It lets out this shriek of pain, and then falls to the ground in a clump of like rags and stuff. Its body like starts melting away as it dies.
Reader tries to not look directly at it while that's happening, and using the cunning action, he'll disengage so he doesn't get grabbed up by the other one, and then run into the room and, if possible, just push Val away from the bed.
Yeah, you can like drag him away from the bed so he doesn't catch on fire. Good job, Alton. You're up.
I am breathing heavily. My body battered like a rough night in the inn, and I will try to end this creature. It wants me dead, but I want it dead just as much. And I will slash at it with both swords. Please die. I don't want to be the dead one here.
Hit.
As I do an impressive 5 damage as I land 2 cuts upon it.
You
The
cut,
dice have betrayed me.
revealing some of its fleshy blue skin. It is going to attack at you again.
Please do not kill me. I like being alive. I'm very good at it.
You plead your case with it, and you don't know if it gets through, as it does a 19 to hit.
The strike comes right at my throat, and I put my arms back, ready to accept death's embrace. And as the strike lands upon me, I cackle maniacally, "Not today, not today!" as a shield pops up around my throat, blocking the strike.
Val,
It was very cute. I could see that you wanted it really badly.
Dragar always talking in the third person. Dragar was like halfway through. Dragar says no, but then he stops when he realizes he was just joking. So Dragar says, "Oh, okay."
And Val, you clutch it. Being pulled away from the flame, you're just kind of like fighting for dear life in unconscious state. You start heading towards the light instead of the darkness.
He's lost. It is a woods. It's very, very confusing.
Dragar, you're up.
Alright, getting very upset and knowing the one right in front of me just died. The other one still walking around. I'd run up to it and I would unleash the power of the warhammer on its face.
Your mic's making like a weird crackling noise too. I would check to see if all the cables are like plugged in.
Alright, thanks.
But yeah, go ahead and do the warhammer. Oh, 9. You guys still have inspiration if you want to burn it?
Yeah. You know.
I'll burn my own actually if that's cool.
Dragar, you might want to use it. Yes.
Yeah, I'll burn my own.
Fail again now to see if you do not like him. Let us go. Oh, yeah. You do not like us. I don't understand.
You're not very good at this whole inspiration thing. Video, you're up. And you're kind of with Val. You drag his body, and you see that he's not looking too good.
Okay.
Maybe you can save him.
Despite not really knowing very little about medicine, it'll make the attempt to stabilize him. And use the inspiration. Oh no.
Oh no. Alton,
just fumbling around, just trying to stop the bleeding.
Alton will see this creature, and he's going to try to kill it so that we can do other things like saving our allies.
All right, go ahead.
Please, I don't have all the magic, And he'll slash at it twice.
Double hit, and explain what it looks like as you kill this thing.
And as I look over my shoulder, I see the half elf as he fails to save my companion. But I know that only I have the skills to save him, and I thrust both my swords into his chest, slaying the creature. As I rush over to my companion, who is dying on the floor, but my companion, as he probably realizes, knows that I just used my action and he must roll, knowing that he must avoid 9 and lower or he dies.
But he has inspiration.
I do have inspiration.
And Elton can hear a reader just like trying to remember something that he saw somewhere once. Like, okay, wait, treat for chalk. raise the feet. He's like trying to pick up his feet, and at the same time trying to go and like loosen his clothes, and he's running back to his feet.
Yeah, he makes it. He hears Rita's voice just kind of like in a daze. You hear this going on, and you start gripping back to consciousness. Now
And
I
I
will.
also vow that Reader is going to get hit when I wake
Is
up.
that 2 passes and 2 fails?
Yeah.
Okay, well, who's up next? Dragar?
Yeah, Dragar, and then Reedier, then you.
Okay.
Is everybody dead?
No,
Yeah,
you can try to save him.
Everyone's
But the
dead,
monsters are
but Val's
Yeah.
bleeding out on the floor.
Yeah, so I just roll a hit dice for him to try to save him. It does
No,
save.
roll a medicine check.
Ah, okay. I'm not very good at that one.
Oh no.
Hey, Dragar does it. He just like walks up to you. I imagine just gives you like a slap in the face, and you come to consciousness.
And
Dragar says, "Wake up, Val."
and Alton would look in his bag and he would say, "Who has been using my healing kit? Where is it here?"
Yeah, he would have put it back, just maybe like not in the right place, because Rita wouldn't have remembered exactly where you had stowed it.
Oh no.
You know for sure someone had been fumbling through your stuff.
I can't believe you would
I'm
invade the
conscious.
privacy of my healing kit. Do not let the man touch your bag so roughly.
I'm conscious again, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to consciousness, because I do believe my sword was drawn before, I just let that fall, look up at Reader, and attempt to hit him from my sitting position across the jaw.
And you would succeed. That would completely take him by surprise. You would completely succeed at that.
And so Val hitting him is like, now we're even for setting me on freaking fire.
Wow, you're very kind, but if someone set me on fire, I would do a bit more than punch them in the face.
Dragar says you're even.
I say I'm even too.
But let us check this chest that you were trying to steal from us.
And
Yeah?
it is almost like engulfing in flame. So you better grab it before it catches on fire. Essentially, someone make a dex save or an acrobatics check to see if they can pull it out before the flame.
I will do it. I will do it.
Oh yeah, crit.
Dragar is like, fuck that, and he just like cartwheels in basically and grabs
He's
it.
like, treasure? I must get it.
I grab everything. I grab it all as fast as I can.
He does, and
Val would just say, I don't think there's anything useful. I just wanted to see it.
and yeah, there's a
yeah.
whole bunch of stuff, and
I
there's
would
this-
share everything with the group. Like right away, like I would just open my hands and be like, "This is what we got."
all right, and inside of it is this very fine-looking black cloak. It almost has like this kind of shine to it. The material almost foreign. You've never felt something so nice before. Inside the wooden coffer, 4 vials of what looks like some kind of potion. A chain shirt, a mess kit, a flask of something, a lantern, a set of thieves' tools, and a yellow leather book.
Perhaps you could type it all out and we would revel in its glory.
Yeah, let me do that.
I am very familiar with the magical arts. Perhaps I could identify this cloak.
Yeah, go ahead and do an arcana.
Well, I will pick it up and I will feel it with my hands, and I will pause for a moment and take a giant whiff of it as I put it around my neck. And you could tell how proficient I am in arcana. Watch this amazing roll here. You will not believe it. I have a -1, so I know absolutely nothing.
While that was happening, Rita was he was drawn to the book automatically, but is not able to really get anything useful out of it.
You open it up though, and you clearly see that it is a wizard spellbook.
Is there, did anyone look at the potions?
Yeah, I could look at the potions, perhaps.
Let me see here. Make sure I got everything. So I'm going to list everything off and make sure that I called it. So cloak, 4 potions, a chain shirt, a mess kit, a flask. I think I missed the flask. I did. And a flask of some kind of liquid, a lantern, and a set of thieves' tool and the spell book. I
This
missed
this
it.
is a cloak of wizarding. It allows you to be better at casting spells.
I don't believe it works that way, sorcerer.
It's
Perhaps I
With
should take
the
a look.
with the Arcana check, though, you both know that the cloak's giving off some kind of magical property. You can't really discern what, but you do know that it's magical.
I
yes.
would also like to make a check and fail as well.
And as
Yeah.
you hear them say that it's magical, you're like, yeah, it's magical. Definitely.
Yes. I will hold on to it.
Dragar would look at the group and with his hands out, still kind of holding everything or that anybody hasn't taken yet, just kind of say, Dragar says anything for me?
I would
You
grab
can-
those thieves' tools,
You
saying,
could
I don't
perhaps.
think you know how to use them.
Oh, I know how to use them. You stick it in the hole, right?
And Dragar knows how to use that too.
Sometimes
Is,
you put it in your hole, you know.
Would Arcana, even though he's not a wizard or an alchemist of any kind, allow him to at least take a guess at what the potions are?
Yep, you can do a Arcana or a medicine.
Nothing. It's wet and in a vial.
Alright,
I'll do
I will
medicine
do it.
check
I
on
will do
potions.
medicine.
No, that sucked.
I had a medicine of 5, so no.
I had a medicine of 13.
They look like healing potions to you, Val. Smell
Val
familiar.
would just toss one to everyone and say, I think they heal you. But if they
Mhm.
poison you, it's your fault.
Yes, just to make sure though, I will wait for you to use yours first. To see.
Dragar would hand his back to Val and say, "You looks like you. Dragar thinks you need it more than me."
That
And-
is true.
Val would gladly accept.
Popping open the flask, Reader, you recognize the smell as alchemist fire.
Oh, that's exciting, but he's already made some mistakes with fire already, and he says, well, if anyone else would prefer to hold on to it.
Is this a fire device? You seem very familiar with it.
Very effective with it.
Alton, can I see that cloak? Perhaps it's a cloak of sneaking, which
You can see it after I have slept with it.
And Val just looks at Alton and then he's like, if that makes you feel better.
It makes me feel much better. I love to sleep with all of the cloaks.
Dragar says, "Let's go."
Is the lantern conveniently have oil in it?
Yes.
Okay.
So at the end, am I left with anything in my hands? Like it's okay if I'm not. Like,
I think you're left with a chain shirt unless someone took that.
his material things to Dragar are nothing at all. He doesn't care about stuff at all.
Yeah,
You can pet my fancy cloak, and I'll tell you what it does tomorrow.
I'll hold on to the chain shirt, but I won't put it on.
Cool. So yeah, this room seems clear. Are we chugging? Anyone chugging the potions?
Val will... Yeah, he'll take the bait and chug a potion.
All right, go ahead.
Perhaps we could rest. I'm feeling a bit poopered.
And Val would actually tip his flask to Alton and say, here, I'll drink mine first, and chugs it.
Please be poison. Please be poison.
And you get
Rip and pepperoni.
drum roll 2d4 plus 2 hit points back.
Oh, he's not dead.
Wow.
You got the diluted one though. It has lots of water in it.
Yeah, that one tastes really old and mildewy.
So I would just smash this glass against the floor and say, and kind of hold my chest and say, yeah, it's healing, but it's probably very old.
I think it is poison, and you are trying to trick me.
Are you gonna chug the other one or?
I think I'm gonna save the other one, but
Alright.
Can we
Val will
rest?
definitely ask if we could maybe sit down for a minute.
Dragar will watch friends and take wall watches. Dragar still feels strong.
All right, so sitting down in this room, there's 2 chairs with the table. You still see that door to your right, and then obviously the way that you guys came back.
Yes. I wish there was a bed here to sleep on. Too bad.
Just Dragar just says move some soot. You should be fine.
So you're doing a short rest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and roll hit dice. Whoever wants to roll hit dice.
I will roll. Oh, that is not good. I will roll both of my hit dice. Oh, much better. I am feeling almost alive.
Alright, and with that short rest over, you guys feel rested enough. What do you want to do?
Val is apparently not learning his lesson, and he's gonna open that door stealthily.
Okay.
And he just, creaks the door and breaks everything.
Yeah, he creaks the door, and as he reaches for the handle, he's felt with this weird sticking sensation. And he gets this weird feeling, and he goes to let go of the door, but the door does not let him do so. His hand is stuck there, and then suddenly a mouth erupts from the door, just splintering the wood, and it lunges forward and attacks you as you
Oh, surprise round. Farewell.
just found a mimic. I'm not even kidding.
The door is a mimic. That is a new one.
Look at that
I
door.
knew something like this was gonna happen
That's
too.
a great door.
I'm sorry, but I'm literally so happy that you're the one that reached for it.
It is as if he does not understand what the danger is. He's so brave. He's
It's
my
just too
hero.
funny.
You will never forget your kindness.
I think after this attempt, he's gonna let all of you guys take a turn at being punched.
Alton got a 7. Oh, that is not good.
That is very not good.
I'll let everyone else roll, but it definitely hits. Luckily, it rolled terribly on the initiative. Who are we waiting for? Everyone's in now, right? Yeah. This is too funny. You're going to learn one day, Val.
But not today.
9 damage as this thing has your arm like stuck to it, and it just lunges forward. Teeth coming from nowhere, eyes just coming on the frame, like kind of the beam of the door that holds it across, and it leaches forward and bites your arm that grabbed the doorknob, taking 9 damage as you're.
I would just like to say that I was the one who wished for his character to die this session, but he is trying to prove me wrong.
I don't know. I think I'm apparently trying to prove you right.
None of us will die.
So,
And
am
you
I
are stuck to it.
Yeah.
He's only stuck to a part of it though, right? Because it splintered when the animal or the mouth came through.
No, he's still stuck to it. I'm trying to read how this works.
They have adhesive, so that is not good.
Oh.
You're grappled, so yeah, on your turn, you're gonna have to make a grapple, try to escape.
Or you can just attack it. Is it restrained or grappled? Because they're very different.
It is, the mimic adheres to anything it touches. A huge or smaller creature adheres to the mimic is also grappled by it, so grappled.
Alright. So you can attack normally, but you cannot move unless you wish to try to escape.
And the check takes my turn, so...
But you can also disengage because you have bonus action.
But it has me grappled.
Do an action to break free, and then disengage with the bonus action.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna try to do.
Please fail.
Okay.
DC 13.
DC 13. And you can use
Acrobatics.
dexterity.
Yep.
Acrobatics? What?
You can use acrobatics or athletics.
Whichever is better.
Well, then apparently I'm going with acrobatics.
Oh, he
You
lives.
rip your hand free and like kind of like a backflip.
And then I disengage and grab Alton and use him as a shield.
You are very wise to do so.
Dragar,
There's not very many tiles in this room, I must admit.
you're up.
Dragar looks over at Val, hiding behind Alton, and I kind of imagine him with his hands up in Alton's chest area, just kind of feeling the massive and awesome pectoral muscles of Alton as he hides behind him. And
Oh,
Dragar just kind of looks
he's
at that.
copying a feel on me. I see.
Dragar kind of looks at that in disbelief, almost as much disbelief as he just saw this door turn into an animal, because he's never seen a mimic. So Dragar's like, Dragar, what? Dragar says what? And he whips automatically, without even thinking about it, he whips a light hammer thrown at him. But he's not enraged yet because he doesn't really understand what's happening. So.
He got his hand stuck in the doorknob. Okay.
You hit nonetheless, and you just kind of splinter away a bit of the door. But as the hammer like lands, you would expect to like probably like do a big dent in it. But for whatever reason, this mimic is no ordinary door, as it doesn't seem like you hurt it very much. And Reader, you're up, and you see this commotion go on. As Val just seems to be the most unluckiest person of all time.
Wanting nothing to do with this horrible monster, and he's been waiting for a mimic the whole time, but then finally thought, I guess there isn't one, and then this happens.
There's always a mimic.
He just moves to the back wall, preparing his bow, and just lets loose and hoping for the best.
And the best does happen as he notches an arrow into the door and obviously splinters away some of it. Alton, you are up. You have Val behind you.
Yes, I will see him cowering, and I will be a good role model. Do not worry, I will slay the mighty dragon door. The door. And I will rush in, and I will attempt to cut it to pieces.
Alright.
You cannot harm me. I have the shield of the gods. And you will see him swing with both swords, attempting to rake it thoroughly.
Both are not enough to like chunk away any parts of door.
Ha! This is a very powerful door.
Now like little like almost skeletal like arms and legs kind of like pop up, and this thing is like
no.
a good bit taller than both
I
of
am
you.
regretting my life choices right now.
And it is up, and it looks at you, Alton, who just attacked it, and is in...
Please do not devour me whole.
Oh, I didn't even see this attack. That would have been so much funnier to do to you. If the mimic is in object form, the target is...
That is what you should have used.
Yeah. No, I can't, though. That's fine. It'll bite at you.
Oh no, do not... Okay. It tries to bite me, but my rippling taut, beautiful abs deflect it.
Very nice.
And he feels a strange scaly presence upon my chest.
Val, you're up.
So Val goes back to his hit-and-run tactics and decides that Alton is not a good role model, and once his attack is over, which I critted.
Boom. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So that's 12 plus Alton is attacking it, so I get sneak attack, right?
Yep.
There's 21 damage.
Very nice.
I don't think... Do I do 21?
Yes.
Because I rolled a 6, and then max damage would be a 9.
Well, 6
I would just go whatever the macro says, but yes, it is a lot of damage.
So max damage is a 6, and then another crit 6, plus your modifier, which is what?
Plus 3.
So that puts you at 15, and then your sneak attack is also doubled, right?
I don't know if
Yes.
it's doubled, but I definitely hit.
It is
Yes.
doubled, I believe. So another max 6, and then since the first one was a 6, that's another max 6, so 22 plus 3, 25 damage, no? Am I wrong?
25 damage.
Anyone
Stab
wanna-
at the top of the head.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I would just to make it easier in the future, I would just use whatever your macros have. So you don't have to go through this every time.
Yeah, and you just kind of slam into the door with your sword, splintering away a huge chunk of it. cutting off one of its arms, it lets out this like growl of pain, and it looks quite enraged by it. You've never seen a door look angry before, but this is the most terrifying thing you've seen, as these jagged like wooden teeth are just like kind of gnawing away at whatever it can. Nice attack nonetheless. Dragar, you're up.
Oh, I was going to use my
Oh yeah, go ahead.
disengage bonus action to go
Right behind Dragar.
go stand behind Dragar, because Alton is obviously not a good role model, as he can't hit.
It is okay. I am distracting it, so you can cowardly attack it.
And Dragar, you're up, and you just seen Val just land a devastating blow into this thing.
Just massively impressed with the blow that Val landed, and still kind of shocked about the door, biting and stuff. And now with Val hiding behind me, and slowly feeling his hands come up and around my chest and also pectoral area, I grab my warhammer and I with both hands and slam it down on the door. And I'm not enraged yet, so I'm gonna have to switch that off. But I'm starting to get a little angry that this thing is biting at people, but. I'm not by any means raged though yet.
Oh, you're a bit confused still, though.
More than a bit.
Yep.
You tried to attack the hinges, but it just does not work.
Reedier, you're up, as Dragar just missed his mighty swing.
Not wanting to get close to it, because everything in this place it's increasingly more frightening. And now there's a door with a mouth and skeleton arms. He just keeps his distance, takes a shot.
11.
Is this the one enemy that I'm the only one who
And
can
then, the arrowheads just kind of harmlessly stick to a non-vital piece of the wood of the door.
Yeah, and you just narrowly scrape by it, not doing any damage, and Alton, you're up.
Alton will know what he must do. He will cut the doorknob off, and he will skewer this mighty door. I have to show him how to fight like a true man. To leave everything out on the line. To face your enemy face to face.
The first attack is a hit. The
And I
second
do an
one.
impressive 8 damage cutting into it.
Yeah, and this thing's starting to look rather splintered now. The one arm completely cut off. One of the legs, like being so bony and like awkwardly long, kind of also give way, and it's kind of like almost like one leg kneeled and broken, the other one still kind of awkwardly standing, the other arm flailing at what it can. It is going to attack at you again, Sir Alton, and it bites, missing. And Val, you're up.
Everybody wants a piece of this chest, yes.
So Val, who unintentionally grabbed Dragar's pectorals, kind of pushes him because he couldn't even hit the thing, and then moves up to hit and run again. And I have
natural one.
That's going to be inspiration there.
I was gonna say do a dex save to see if you fall into it, but go ahead and use your inspiration.
So Val hears this strange voice that doesn't sound like him in the back of his head, and he says, "Well then," and he goes and makes that attack again, and still misses.
So he stumbles and almost trips, but he catches his footing and kind of like turns it into this like haphazardly swing, all over the place, and it's not enough to find its target, but he at least doesn't land on his face.
He hears Alton's voice in the back of his head, and he knows, I cannot fail that bad.
And Val is just like, I could have sworn you just said that you didn't fail that horribly, but I'm sure you have. And then he's gonna use his bonus action to go and stand next to Reader, who has not apparently been attacked. So he must be safe over there.
And Dragar, you're up as you see that all go on.
Getting upset at this point, Dragar's very frustrated that he missed the first swing, and at this point enrages himself. He gets very upset and retakes the warhammer completely ignoring Val standing over by Reader and not paying attention to what's going on over there. Just slamming down the thing on the door as hard as I possibly can.
And you slam right through it, splintering it in half. It lets out this terrifying shriek, and it's kind of like skeletal arms just like contort and bend in weird ways, and then like a bug kind of just like withering away to death. This thing dies and kind of like curls up in on itself, and then as it's done doing so, it's just like a shattering of wood and stuff. The
Val,
door. Go ahead.
Val, do you want to open the door now?
And now there's just an empty passageway where the door once stood.
Dragar hates biting doors.
Yes, well, I'll make sure to check the doors from now on.
Lead the way, Val. We believe in you.
And Val will actually push Alton forward and say, "No, let the combat sorcerer do it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I
Sneak
will,
away."
I will show you how to be a brave soul, okay? And I will lead the way. I will be the tank that the party needs, okay?
Kind of nonchalantly and low, almost just below the level of the waist, Reader will pass Val his healing potion, like they're doing a drug deal, like palm to palm.
And Alton goes forward into that room. So the room is festooned with moldy skeletons that hang from rusty shackles
That's
against the
horrible.
wall. A wide alcove in the south wall contains a painted wooded statue carved in the likeness of a gaunt, pale-faced man wearing a voluminous black cloak, his pale left hand resting on the head of a wolf that stands next to him. In his right hand, he holds a smoky gray crystal orb. The room has exits where you came from, obviously, and then up to the north, also where you know the shadows attacked you from.
That actually is not north, that is east.
Yeah, I fucked up. I probably just... Yeah, then that's the description of the... No, it's north.
No, your compass rose disagrees because you can't read the compasses, remember?
And yeah, that's what you find in this room. So yeah,
Well,
there's this
look,
big stone, this big wooden kind of a statue of this gaunt-looking, pale-faced man. He's holding a crystal in one hand, resting his hand on a wolf, and there's like skeletons all kind of shackled to the walls everywhere.
you know, you said he had a cloak, right?
Yeah, you did have a cloak on you.
Did it look like my cloak, the one he was wearing?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it's kind of hard to tell. It's just like a wooden statue, but...
Is the likeness the same as either that hooded specter thing that we fought in the other room, or as the
No.
the painting, family painting upstairs?
Neither.
And Val, walking in after Alton, will say, "Well, why don't you go and see what that orb is there, Alton?"
If I were you, though, I would have tried to steal it before my companions arrived.
Hey, I wasn't trying to steal anything.
I
In
see.
fact, I was about to come back and tell you guys what was in that chest, but no, the specters had to interrupt us.
I see. Interesting.
Reader does actually want to steal that orb, but everything coming to life and devouring you is just making him want.
There's a lot of skeletons here. Perhaps it will bring them all to life. That would be a glorious battle.
Dragar don't mind skeletons better than biting doors.
That is true. I believe you. I will examine the orb closely. Is there anything special about it?
Give me a
Dragar
perception.
just kind of stands there and gets ready for skeletons. He's got his warhammer in his hands, and he's just, he's kind of like a baseball batter at the mound. He's ready to go. He's just in the middle of the room with his hammer.
And what was your perception check, Alton?
Alton, he has great eyes. And that is a 9. It seems legit.
Yeah, it looks like a nice crystal orb.
I will pick it up immediately. It seems very precious to me.
Perfect. And as soon as you pick it up, you all look nervously at the skeletons. None of them move.
Ah, I told you it would not activate the skeletons.
And as soon as you say that, 5 shadows materialize from the floor,
Oh no, I did not plan for this.
much like the shadows that you
What was
fought
like,
previously.
From my experience, 5 is a lot more than 2. Or 3 or 4.
Dragar looks at the reader. He's like, ready for round 2?
And I think that is where we will end it.
We
So
cannot finish them off and see if we live?
That's no fun.
Oh.
So they'll all attack Alton because he has the orb. Got it.
Yeah. So with that, we're going to end the broadcast. I don't think we had any viewers, not too surprisingly, but thank you guys for coming out. That was a great game. And I'll talk to you after we close this down. Peace out.
Thank you.